I'm going to call the meeting to order. Today is Tuesday, August 26, 2025. This meeting is being video and audio recorded for future cable broadcast. Please silence all cell phones for the duration of the meeting. May I have a motion to open the school committee meeting?
So.
Do a roll call.
Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Mrs. Rivera? Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Hopper?
Yes.
Mrs. Wood? Yes.
Could I ask everybody to stand to start the pledge of allegiance?
To the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the first item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Everything listed in the consent agenda was distributed in advance of the meeting. Does anyone have any requests for something to be removed from the consent agenda and discussed or voted on separately? Seeing none, may I have a motion to approve and accept the items listed in the consent agenda, including the minutes for the July 26, 2025 meeting?
So moved.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. I believe, has anyone signed up for delegation? No? Seeing no old business on the agenda, I will turn this over to Dr. Bailey for the meeting.
Thank you. We have a couple of things before we have the high schools present. It should be relatively quick, but I'm going to call Mrs. Chesney up to the podium. She will be reviewing the student handbook changes as well as the staff handbook, and then we will take a vote on both of those things.
Good evening, school committee members. On this evening before school starts, we have very few changes to both. I'm going to be reporting on both the AES and FMS school handbook. For AES, it's almost identical except for dismissal after 3 o'clock for non-medical reasons. Must wait until after the buses leave. And we added responsive classroom language to our addendum, our AES addendum. FMS has added language about prohibiting students from using bikes with a motor on campus. You can find that on page 52. We also discussed the staff handbook.
Well, does anybody have any questions about the student handbooks, either AES or FMS? So I would just be looking for a motion to get both of those approved.
Can I have a motion to approve the 2025-2026 student handbook? And can I have a motion
You can do that.
to approve the 2025-2026 student handbook and the 2025-2026 staff?
I'll second.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Seeing none, the motion passes without opposition.
Okay, I just want to clarify, you didn't have any questions about the staff handbook either, right? Okay, both student handbooks were approved. So the next item is revision to the school calendar. Last week, we received a phone call or email from the town officials that the Old Colony new construction is taking, an election is taking place regarding new construction on November 18th. The school didn't know about that until last week. So what we did was we decided to change, we're recommending changing our September 24th PD day to November 18th. So our students will not have school on election day because, as you know, everyone in town votes at the elementary school. So that is the only change, but it's just updated calendar, and I'm just looking for a motion to accept the change.
Any questions? Can I have a motion to approve the 25-26 school calendar as revised?
I'll second.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Seeing none, that motion passes without opposition.
Mr. Chairman, I speak to that motion passed in my agree. I'd like to make a suggestion to the superintendent. To send the minutes when they approve of the use of schools for elections. To determine that does that motion apply to special elections or just regular elections? And you have to render an opinion on that.
Thank you, Ms.
Okay, if I could just take one thing out of order, which is the business manager's report. I'd ask Mr. Petroni to come to the podium to speak regarding school breakfast and lunch prices. There is going to be a recommended change, and we're looking for a vote tonight on that.
Good evening. Every couple of years, there's a review done with the Department of Ed does it on behalf of the USDA food prices, and our review of our lunch, free lunch, free breakfast, that doesn't change. Well, there's a calculation that's performed every year or every other year to determine the price of adult lunches. The adult lunches are still being made with the same commodities that the student lunches are being made. So we're currently charging this past year $5 a lunch, and according to the recommendations, we should be increasing it to $6 a lunch. So it's a $1 increase. Even though the calculation shows that last year we were on the charge, we should have charged more last year. So the recommendation we have is everything else is staying the same. The breakfast is free, the lunch is free, and the second breakfast is $2.75 for a student. The second lunch is $3.75 for a student. It's simply the adult. The adult breakfast is staying the same at $2.75. That year was okay. But the adult lunch would go to $6. So we're looking for a vote for that.
Questions? So can I have a motion to approve the 2025-2026 breakfast and lunch prices?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Seeing none, the motion passes without opposition.
Thank you. And at this time, I'd like to call a representative from each of the 4 high schools to pick a number in terms of the order that they will be presenting in. As you know, each high school, New Bedford High School, Fairhaven High School, Pond Regional High School, and Freetown Lakeville, Fairhaven High School, will be presenting, and it's informational only tonight, regarding the course offerings they have for the Acushnet students. So again, I'd ask one person from each of the high schools to come on up, pick a number, and that will be the order that you will present. Each school will have 20 to 30 minutes to make a presentation. Okay, so lucky number 1 is New Bedford Public Schools. So I would ask them to set up, and they'll have 20 to 30 minutes.
Good evening, everyone. Joyce Cardos, the principal of New Bedford High School. Mr. Andrew O'Leary, our superintendent, and we're really excited to present to you some information about New Bedford High School that you may or may not know. So here is just some overall information about the school, where we were, where we currently are, and where we're heading, and some things that I think are really important to know. In many urban, large schools, there are some assumptions about class sizes being quite large. So I just want to bring your attention that our average class size is about 13 students to 1 teacher, sometimes less. We have tremendous support from the district to ensure that the students have the instructional support that they need, and I think that that's really something important and critical for academic success. You can see that we've put a tremendous amount into our facilities over the last 5 years, taking an older building and really upgrading it, renovating it, and providing our students with state-of-the-art academic spaces to learn in. So we have a beautiful finance lab with, Wall Street stock tickers where students are interacting, interfacing with career, things that they're going to see in a career setting. We also have a beautiful pool, auditorium renovation. There's just been so much, and it really just impacts learning for students, and we're really proud of that. We also have a biotech lab, a chemistry lab, health science labs with state-of-the-art equipment where the students are interacting with not your, old school mannequin that doesn't move. These guys are like robots, and they can, make the patients sick, and they have to triage what the symptoms are. It's really incredible. They get hands-on experience in these spaces. So again, just some information about the supports we offer, what we have as an overall. Something that we're really, really proud of and that we celebrate is the diversity at New Bedford High School. And with that comes our mission to provide equitable resources and spaces and academics for all students from every walk of life. And so with that, we have so many languages spoken at the high school, and bilingualism, multilingualism is beautiful and needed in our country and abroad. So our students work really hard to earn the seal of biliteracy and other opportunities. They can become certified translators through UMass Dartmouth, and they do that right on site. So it's not just about learning English, it's also about valuing their multiple languages and using that for their future. So you can see that specific to students who may need to learn English as another language, we do have ELT program, that's English Language Development Programming. So that we have that though not just in our general classes. We offer AP classes for our students who are multilingual honors courses. They have access to all of our offerings, and our job is to provide the supports that ensure that they can access the curriculum. The same goes for students with special education needs and otherwise. So you can see here our staff receives a tremendous amount of training. We really celebrate culture every month. We have specific celebrations, but if you walk through our halls, the goal is for you to be able to see the community that we serve. And so our students see themselves as they walk through the halls as well. So we have lots of support services. This side of the slide talks a little bit about our special education programming. But again, what I want to really highlight is that we pride ourselves on ensuring no matter what the profile is of the student, we are going to figure out how to give you access to all of the programming that we have. And I just think that that's an incredible piece for us, that we're able to offer, that we have the supports to do that. So you can see that we have open enrollment for advanced placement courses. So our goal is that every student tries at least one advanced placement course while at New Bedford High School. We have academic support classes. We have a wing block, which is called What I Need, and students can opt into a block once a week to say, it's like student agency, right? I need extra support in Algebra 1. I'm going to opt into that, and really students get to learn where they need to excel, what they might enjoy if they're academically strong. They might go to photography during that time. So it's really building student agency. We also have a large deaf and hard of hearing cohort and program, and we have the supports for those students again so that they can access and engage with any of the programs that we have in courses. We have a one-goal program with wraparound services that follow students through their first year of college. And we have an early college program that is robust, and we have partnerships with BCC, UMass Dartmouth, and Bridgewater, where students can take courses. And we have the traditional co-taught classes, subset courses as well. You'll also note that counselor access is one counselor to every 205 students, which sounds like a lot, but if you actually go on the Master website and you learn a little bit about other large urban schools, the numbers are much higher, and it's really, really hard. So it's recommended that school counselors have at least under 280 students, so we are doing really well there. We really have a lot of support for students. The same goes for our school adjustment counselor, so it's sort of paired together. So if a student has, they're not called school counselors, but people might think of it as a guidance counselor, paired with a school adjustment counselor. You share a student, so that way your child really never falls through the cracks, right? Whether it's academic planning, career planning, as well as the social emotional support needed in high school. We have 3 special education administrators, 4 facilitators, and 31 special educators. That's highlighted here because we have so many programs, and sometimes it can be quantity over quality, and for us, we have put the resources behind the numbers so that we can support all of the programs. And I just think it's critical to things running really smoothly and the students' needs are met that way. We have direct services. We have a beautiful college and career center that is fairly new to the high school. We have individual counseling classroom, core lessons. Our counselors push into the classrooms, work with the students. Gear Up and Talent Search are wonderful partners that are also in our high school that work closely with our students. So lots and lots of opportunities and supports. So this is about actual net school spending. I don't know if you want to take this slide and talk a little bit about this. Okay, he's going to put that. But what you can see, right, is since 2020, our in-district expenditure per pupil is much higher. We value our students and we want to make sure that they have all of the resources and supports that they need, and we continue to work to make sure that that number of what we're spending on our students matches that. So we have a huge presence in the community. We have a family welcome center in the high school itself. There's also wraparound services in the district, so families that need absolutely any support, or there happens to be a tragedy, a fire, a family member, something happens, any support that they may need, they're in the school, they work with the family to make sure that students can continue to receive an education. We also in Bedford have a very strong special education parent advisory council that meets to ensure that we are providing the best education to all students. The same for our LPAC, which is our English Learner Parent Advisory Council. And then at the high school, we have our school council, and we try to really make sure that student voice is part of all of these pieces so that we're hearing from students about what they need, not what we think they need as adults. And I think that that's just really something that our students value about the process. So I mentioned some of these offerings already, but just to bring additional attention to, we have an Academy of Honors program that is thriving, robust. It has grown so large that we now have 4 counselors that service the students in the Academy of Honors. When we began, we only had 1 counselor and about 40 students. And we have graduated many with AP capstone diplomas and beyond, and have well over 200 students in that program now. Again, that is a pathway to an AP capstone diploma, which is recognized by colleges as a very rigorous set of courses that students take. We have the Academy of Civic Leadership and World Studies, which is incredible. The students get to interface with students from other countries. There's an exchange program that is part of that. They learn about civic responsibility. They really work to build leadership skills, but then to apply that into the community. And so our students in senior year have an opportunity to go study abroad, and students from the exchange program can also come to the high school as well. So we are really excited about the Civic Leadership World Studies program. We have early college, and we have over 20 AP courses, advanced placement courses, and then you can see there
on the side where it talks about the different high-quality instructional materials, curriculum that we use at the high school for each of our content areas. So we are a comprehensive high school, so we offer lots of academics, but there's also academics in our vocational programming as well. So we have an early childhood education program, an Academy of Finance, a radio and broadcasting, which is really cool. The students make like a newscast every Friday, and the whole school gets to see the students broadcast out to the school. We have a business technology program, information technology, hospitality and tourism, health sciences, and engineering. So students are really able to get a robust experience in any of those pathways, and they are applying skills that they need for industry. And then through those programs, they get opportunities for internships and beyond. And then all the other fun stuff. So, Whaler Life, we get really excited about this, as you can see. We're really excited now we have a mascot. We haven't met him yet. You'll find him out. So we have so many organizations, no matter what a student is interested in. If we don't have it, the students petition for it and we make it happen. Every club that you could possibly think of, every activity, every sport, we have it. In terms of our performing arts, the band, we have chorus. Truly, if you have an interest or a passion that goes beyond math class, beyond science, we have a good fit for you. And we have incredible advisors that support that. We have a positive student coordinator, so she's sort of like a data student almost, and she works really, really hard to ensure that all students know about the offerings we have. We communicate with students constantly about anything that's new coming up that they can get involved in. We provide transportation in the afternoons for students that are staying. We also provide a supper program so that if students are staying late, we know teenagers need lots of calories because they're growing, so before they go on to, athletics or a club, they can eat. So we really try to address the whole child and whatever they might thrive in. So these are just, 3 bullets. We're a big school, so it means big opportunities. The 3 middle schools in New Bedford become 1. Plus, right, some of our surrounding communities that come and join us. And we just have a tradition of excellence that we are working really, really hard to uphold. And we appreciate everybody that recognizes that New Bedford High School has incredible things to offer all communities.
Thank you, Principal Cardozo. So my name is Andrew O'Leary. I'm Superintendent of New Bedford Schools. And I did get a nod to maybe talk about the financial aspects or operational aspects. And on paper, I've been in the district a long time, I've been in New Bedford a long time, so on paper I'm an expert in school finance, an expert in operations. Now I have 5 kids, and I'm not an expert parent. I found that for them. But I am just so excited about Waiver Life. And our boys have gone to New Bedford High School, and we just moved my eldest Michael into Stonehill on Friday, and that was the culmination of his journey starting in the 9th grade at New Bedford High School. Currently have Connor and Patrick, and we'll soon have Liam and Julia at New Bedford High School. We are fully invested in being a Whaler, mainly as given what it's done for our family. And reflecting on New Bedford High School, you can get the sense from Principal Cardozo that there is a pathway for every student. New Bedford High School has the capacity, the technical term is the economies of scale, but also the resources to be able to offer something for every student. And that's what we found personally. Just as late as last night, Connor was getting ready for his senior year, and he was arranging his parking at UMass Dartmouth. So not only will he be starting his senior year at New Bedford High School, taking dual enrollment at UMass Dartmouth. And after looking at the tuition at Stoneville, I'm really glad that it's going to get the credit, thanks to New Bedford High School from UMass Dartmouth, we can apply that going forward. So we're really appreciative of that journey, and it also combines athletics and the student experience at New Bedford High School. I don't remember my high school being as fun, my experience being as fun in the 80s and 90s, but New Bedford High School is a fun place for students to be, for students to grow. And as students, just thinking of our experience, navigate the academic challenges when the standards increased in the 9th grade, the supports were there. Choosing courses that we never thought they would enroll in. Michael enrolled in AP Spanish and is now taking Spanish and education at Stoneville as well. So I can't talk enough about the student experience at New Bedford High School because we've lived it. And we're very excited to have Patrick and Liam and Julia go forward from there. But I do think we're at an interesting point for all cities and towns in Massachusetts. There's a lot of structural changes, financial impacts, enrollment increases and declines. I think what you're seeing, in my judgment, you are seeing a lot of big cities benefiting from a lot of the policy changes and investments. And that may be a good thing for certain cities and towns, and may have an impact on other cities and towns. But it's very clear that there's growth in the big cities like New Bedford. And as Principal Cardoza has outlined, we've been able to make those investments. I would encourage everybody to come to New Bedford High School. Even if you're passing through New Bedford High School Hathaway Boulevard on the weekend, you will see the parking lots full on the weekend. It could be PSAT testing, AP classes, pre-AP tutoring. The high school is always full on the weekend. Our athletes are always practicing, and the fields, which have also been redone, are always full at the weekend. So I would encourage everybody to come by and see what's on offer. There will be opportunities. We will have open houses. We will have a school choice fair in October where we invite surrounding schools to come. We invite the charter schools in New Bedford to come, walk through the high school, and see what's on offer. So we do think structurally, big picture, like school finance world, there are great opportunities to keep building within the cities like New Bedford. And at the level of the student, I'm confident in the experience that my students are going to have and their brothers and sisters to come. So we're available at any time. Come by the high school, come walk through the halls, come see what's on offer, and definitely come take in a game. I'm not going to get any pressure on the football coach. We've got great prospects for the football games this fall and we will hopefully walk.
Does any member of the school committee have any questions?
Hi, Melissa there. Can you talk a little bit about like the safety and security you have in the building as far as like SRO officers and things like that?
Yeah, certainly. So it's better. You guys hear me? So New Bedford High School is a huge community. Anywhere from in a given year from 2,400 to 3,000 students across the street with Keith Middle School, about 800. If enrollment increases to 1,000 students, that's a huge community in one area. So just logistically, everything from traffic safety to making sure everyone makes a class on time, you need to ensure you have the resources for them. So we did have some of the staffing numbers up there in the slides, so we have increased all of that. We did invest in the same technology you see in like a Foxborough Stadium as well, detectors and all of that, very well received by families as well. We did see, I think, all big high schools like that from Everett to Lexington to New Bedford coming out of the pandemic. We did see that, we see it from pre-K to K. We gave it the term dysregulation, a lot of concerns there. But we have seen that decline, and I think on paper, in terms of disciplinary records, suspensions, school suspensions, or accidents, you see that declining at historic lows, really. Now, that's partly in terms of the school culture that's been improved. It's partly those resources as well. But I think overall, I think we're very confident from the traffic to the buildings to the classrooms that we have a very safe environment.
Yes, I just echo that. I think that, that's a question that lots of families ask us. With thousands of people in one area, there are things that happen. They happen everywhere. However, our number one priority is student safety and success in our building, as well as our staff, right? We have families to go home to as well. So we have 14 security and safety officers right now, and they work throughout the campus to ensure, like Superintendent O'Leary said, whether it's traffic situations, doors, to students getting to where they need to go, as well as an SRO that supports anything that we might need, and we have behavior assistance that really helps students to re-regulate if something is to happen. And this year we're launching the yonder vouchers, the use of them. We know that social media has caused some challenges for our young people, so we are looking to have a distraction-free, if at all possible, learning environment that I think will help with some of the, when we think about safety, I'm not just talking about physical safety, right? Also the mental health of our students, and we've seen what the research shows on that with cell phones and all of that. So we're really, really working hard to ensure that all students have that experience. And when it's not a good fit, really having those conversations and trying to figure out what the best place is. So it's a great place.
Yes, Gail, just have a follow-up question on the safety and security piece. With the middle school just across the street, the head count that you shared with us in terms of school resource officers, security personnel, is that just for New Bedford High School, or is that shared staff across both campuses?
It's just New Bedford High School. They also have their own school resource officer and security team.
Brian, could you talk a little bit more about, so I think, going to a big high school from a smaller town sometimes can be a little bit daunting. Can you talk a little bit more about some of the transition programs that you have to help kids kind of make that transition?
Sure. So one of the things that's been really important to us is getting to know the students before they actually are there and embedded in everything we have to offer. And what I mean by that is when we're scheduling students and we're trying to learn about what they might be interested in, being 13, 14, 15 years old, where it's a big ask, what do you want to do when you grow up? But we start to really understand them as a person and what their interests are so that we can align them with pathways and classes that they're going to feel connected to, creating a smaller community for them. So something that we also do is tomorrow, our 9th and 12th graders will start. And we did that so that our 12th graders have this opportunity to model for our 9th graders, support them in their transition to high school, and it's less intimidating, right? You don't have every single student there. The students get this opportunity to come in. During our orientation, we do the same thing. We try to connect the students. We have students from different programs there so that they get to know some students before they come in. And then once students are there, although we are one big school, we have 4 houses. So anyone that may have attended New Bedford High School knows it's blue, green, gold, tan house. And so students start to really, connect with their house, with their team. They see the same people. They have a base of support. So it breaks down that big freshman class into smaller, classes across the 4 houses. And then they sort of have like their mini team to support them in that first year.
Another safety and security question for you. So, could you tell us a little bit about what the school has in place in terms of systems and policies to deal with either internal or external threats? To speak to this, I was actually a New Bedford High alumni, and I was going right around the time that the Hall incident occurred. Obviously, things have progressed quite a bit in the years since, but I'd like to know what the school has in place in the event something catastrophic like that.
So, like everyone, right, it is something we never want to see happen, and I hope I never have to be in that situation. However, we do have protocols in place as a leadership team and our, security team, we have a crisis intervention team, we need to go over all of those things. We did a couple of years ago, install all new alarm systems so that if there's a breach of security, we know that many of the shootings happen because the door was propped or there wasn't proper security coming in. We have a trapdoor system, if you will, coming through the main entrance, so even if you gain entry there, you actually can't access the rest of the building, which allows us to contain a threat if there happens to be one. We have, like I said, we do the training, we have all the signs in the classrooms so that folks know what to do. We changed our lock system, so it's a different, more efficient lock system for all the doors. We installed new doors in the hallways, so some of those older doors didn't close tightly, which again, we know whether a fire, threat, right? If you can create barriers, right, it delays the threat coming to that area. So there's been a lot of work done, and everybody has a response protocol, if you will, depending on what your position is. If something is to happen, you know what your response needs to be to that to then make sure that the students are safe.
Thank you. I know it's a big question, so I'm sure we're looking forward to seeing some of the action.
I hope we have no action. That's what we're aiming for. I know what you mean. I appreciate that question. For all of my daughter started kindergarten tomorrow, and in preschool she was doing the drills, right? And it's unfortunately a reality for education today.
Hi, Debbie Woodland, and I just have a question about the special education and what your practices are for inclusion.
We are inclusion. So, that's a big question, right? So, I mentioned that we work really hard to ensure, no matter what the needs are of the student, that they have access. So, from our community-based program to our most advanced and academically advanced student, they have access to the same program studies essentially. And so our students, most of our classes are co-taught classes, and even if the student requires some sub-separate settings, they have access to other courses that are not sub-separate. So we really, really try to individualize it instead of saying, okay, because you need this for math, you're going to need this for everything. And that goes for athletics, right? We have students that are engaging in unified sports. We have students that are in our clubs, and we support the clubs that, they're interested in. And if we need to provide paraprofessionals so that they can participate, we do that. Whether that's on the band bus to go see a game or at prom, we'll provide the support needed so that they can participate academically or socially.
In terms of additional extracurriculars, I know New Bedford High School has a pretty wide variety of activities available between various bands, drama club, so on and so forth. Are there any particular programs you call out as being real crown jewels of the New Bedford school system, or anything that would really separate them from maybe other schools that would be presenting this evening?
So I think we're really, really proud of a lot of our CPT and math programs. The students are applying the skills in the real world, right? Weekly, monthly, they get to do that. I think that we offer an incredible information technology program, and I think that sometimes gets overlooked. Our AP computer science teacher is top notch and really just pushing students to the next level. They're building robots. The robots are like the dog who walks around the school. It's really incredible to see students applying something from coding to literally you see the product. I would say that's a pretty incredible program, along with our global civic leadership program because students get the opportunity to study abroad, and I don't know how many high school students can really engage in that type of civic engagement that then they apply abroad. So I think that's a pretty incredible opportunity as well. And our early college in Blue Only, you can essentially graduate from New Bedford High School with 2 years of college, if not more, completed. And it really, Superintendent O'Leary alluded to, the cost savings, but that's real. When students are facing the decision whether or not to take a gap year or to continue on, and they can say, I actually can jump into almost my 3rd year of college, it's a pretty incredible boost of confidence, right? And we know that completion rates of freshman year of college are quite low, where our students, it's much higher because they've already completed almost 2 years in those programs. So I know that it's not like a one program, but I think that we have some opportunities that when our students are applying to schools or to jobs, they really have an edge because they've already gotten the experience that some other students are not able to get in different settings.
Just on that question, for me, I think it goes back to the curriculars. So we're just coming off hiring, we're wrapping up hiring season right now, and again, we have a strong teacher contract, which is by our estimates most competitive, so we're able to get the best teachers around, and one emphasis we put on is to develop that approach. I think you are going to see our music, our performing arts, our band, folks talk about the 90s, and I think it's going back. You can see that in the athletics as well. We've all seen the kind of power battle shift to the Catholic schools. We're winning those titles. You are starting to see last year our basketball, volleyball team, our swim team in the newly renovated pool, including a Michael O'Leary, we're competing throughout the state. So you are seeing that balance come. But again, it all ties back to academics. It all ties back to what you asked about student experience, students finding their pathways. It all comes together. It's not just about having something nice over here or a trophy. So you are going to see the students who are putting in the effort there, those highly qualified educators who are in the classroom during the day, and then our other coaches as well. And those are really going to emerge. So very much watch this space in the athletics and the fine arts industry.
One question. Availability, we've outlined scholarships that are available to high school graduates. So that would be a big factor, in parents being able to send higher education.
Absolutely. So I think what we do see historically, there are a lot of legacy foundations. The Community Foundation of Southeastern Massachusetts, a lot of them have been established. Legacy scholarships, which have remained the same, been established for New Bedford High School. Given the investments where we exceed the counselor ratio in Massachusetts, we do have counselors invested in building that out, and building out and supporting students through the scholarship process and accessing those to College and Career Center as well. So speaking again, personally, my graduating senior was able to acquire those scholarships as well. So overall, it's very robust, very strong. We hold a very elaborate scholarship night and partner then with additional foundations like the Jacobs Foundation and the Community Foundation that additional scholarship night. So very much students are able to pursue those higher rate tracks and acquire significant scholarships along.
And just as a number, like this year we were able to award over $275,000 in scholarships to seniors, which is a pretty incredible number. Many of the scholarships were, $2,000, $5,000. The legacy at New Bedford High School really draws along to continue giving to ensure that students have access. So there's no shortage of scholarships to apply for.
Last question, I promise, for me. Could you tell us a little bit about the status of your JROTC program?
How did we forget that? Yeah, I see, I'm looking at the picture.
We just waited this.
My eye is going down to the picture the whole time, and I'm saying, oh, you mentioned JROTC. So we are so proud of our JROTC. Actually, on Thursday, there'll be a citizenship service in New Bedford swearing in new American citizens. Our JROTC will be there by demand. It is the oldest JROTC program in the country. I'm looking out, I don't know has anyone in this audience been in the Bedford JROTC? It's got to be. There you go. Will there be at least one? And so that's one example. It is the oldest. It continues to win awards. It has won more awards than any other ROTC or equivalent program in Massachusetts. A lot of those students do go on to serve in the military afterwards and of course acquire those scholarships along the way. It's something we're very proud of in terms of molding future citizens, in terms of building that civic pride, and it just continues to contribute to the city of New Bedford in so many ways and bring home those accolades. But most important, it's just a great home for students who thrive as a career test. And so it goes on from strength to strength.
All right, we really appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Fairhaven High School.
We have a little crew here today, so thank you. I just want to say thank you. I'm Tara Kohler. I'm the superintendent of schools in Fairhaven. I previously worked at New Bedford High School, so I'm a true historian of the partnership. And everywhere I've ever worked in a high school, I've always welcomed Acushnet students, which is kind of a fun fact. Both schools that I worked at always had Acushnet students as part of our population. So I just wanted to take a minute to answer your request for some questions, but also take a minute to share, to me, this is really the root of everything. We have a long-standing partnership. And this isn't just, from us with education. It's quite frankly geographically where we were. Dartmouth was huge. New Bedford broke off from it. And at that point, shortly thereafter, in 1812, our schools stayed partners, and Dartmouth was its own entity, New Bedford became its own entity, and Fairhaven and Acushnet were quite literally one. So I just want to say that for me, I think this is bigger than, competing for kids. I think it's about the long-standing fabric of our communities, and I mean that with all sincerity. The relationship between our school communities is over a century old, with New Bedford as well. So, Old Rochester, they have their community, Freetown Lakeville has their community. We, quite frankly, have always been the three of us together. So I'm not here to talk bad about any of my neighboring districts. I think they're all fantastic. We're all doing the same thing, right? We're driven by Massachusetts standards. We're all working hard for kids, and we're all really trying to do what's right for them with that curriculum. So I just want to start by saying we're all great, and I'm glad you're entertaining all of us, but at the same time, I think our rich history is something that deserves some merit. So by the numbers, currently 200 of our FHS students reside in Acushnet, and I say that because they really become part of the fabric of our school. My own children went through the Fairhaven Public Schools, and half of their friends were in different towns, and always was driving to Acushnet. So I thought that was always funny because it always felt like one in that way. At present, the Fairhaven School Committee has not voted to participate in school choice, and that's been a purposeful decision. Our town has put some pressure to say, why are you doing school choice? And our answer has always been, because we want to have room for everyone from Acushnet. That's always been our answer, and I stand by that answer. We are committed to having room for our neighbor district that we are partners with, quite frankly. And I say all that not with a light heart, but to say, obviously, if you end up making a different choice or open the doors, we have to revisit that conversation, and that's fine. But I want to be transparent with you. because we've really embedded it. This is our mural in our school. We didn't make this up for this presentation. This is truly what's in our school. Our students put this together. Our students painted this, and in case you can't see it well, I tried to get a good, thank you, Mr. Kulak, but I tried to cut it in well. But they built this because they're truly two together. It's not the Acushnet students, it's FHS students. And they hail from two very different communities, but they're all entrenched in the same, right? I go to a Acushnet Creamery, I have the kids, hey, Mrs. Kohler, and it's just fun, because it's always been the way we've been. And I know sometimes the status quo isn't exciting or as jazzy, but I promise we have a lot to offer. And I figured I'd zoom in on the Acushnet portion of that so that you could see the things that are depicted there. Someone said to me, well, Keith's is closed. And I'm like, well, Keith's is like a legend to all of us, and we're just going to keep it there. Anyway, you get the idea. So I just wanted to now kind of get into some of our kind of core beliefs as a district. As a district, we worked really hard on these 3 words, and we took some discussion and argument, and quite frankly, I don't know what your core values truly are, but I think these are really, they say who we are. So we talk about ambition. We want kids to always have the opportunity to look for something different, something bigger, something exciting, and to aim for it. The front of our school actually says 2 things that were embedded in 1906 by its benefactor. And it says, ad astra carpe diem. And what does that mean? It means shoot for the stars and live for today. And we quite frankly live by that motto to this day. Every single person here who came supports that mindset. So we also recently were going through an accreditation, which I'll talk more about later. But when we did that, we worked hard on our profile of the learner. Beyond math and English and history, there really is some core beliefs that we need to do with people, right? And some of that, our students were part of the process, our teachers, our community members, businesses, they came to the table and said what was important. So we also reflect this in all of our curriculums in every single department. And those are what you see there: collaboration, communication, creativity, critical thinking, and civic participation. You mentioned a crown jewel question, and if I could jump in real fast. Probably my most favorite moment of any school year is when our kids do the day of service. They go out into the community, every one of them ends up somewhere, volunteering, being a part of something. Some of it's Gifts to Give, some have been right here at Ford Middle School, some were in our elementary schools and middle schools. But kids are working with, senior citizens, helping them. We have a student who every single week, just because he wants to, helps our senior citizens at the senior center learn how to use technology. And I know that sounds silly, but to me it's really a hallmark of who we are. I had a moment with a coach the other day. He just got hired to do soccer last year, but he formerly was a soccer coach at a place I used to work. And I said, hey, nice to see you, you retired. And he said, Tara, I always wanted to work at UMass Dartmouth. I put in an application for Fairhaven High School in UMass Dartmouth. And when I got the job at Fairhaven High School, I was going to go meet the kids. And he said he went to meet the kids, and the kids all came to him after and said, thank you, coach, and shook his hand. And he said, in 20 years of coaching, I've never met kids so nice. And I thought to myself, I know this sounds really corny, but I think that's important, and that's in the fabric of what we're trying to bring up, right? So just know that I'm not saying this for all the hokey reasons. These are truly moments that have happened. So he did go back home and cancel his UMass Dartmouth interview, which I thought was like a funny story, but it meant a lot to me personally, because I personally, as the former principal of the high school, felt like I put my blood, sweat, and tears into trying to shift the culture. And I think we did a really good job at that, and these guys are carrying that torch even further more. So anyway, I'm going to turn it over to our current principal, Mr. Andrew Kulak, and he's going to talk about academic opportunities.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for having us. It's exciting to be here and talk a little bit about what we have to offer. I'm just going to make a personal comment. As a principal from a personal perspective, I think my job and my mission has always been to create a school environment, a school culture, academic offerings that I would be proud to have my own students, my own children attend. I think with the help of the district and all of our building leaders and our staff, I think we are at that point. I think we continue to grow, we continue to, our building is obviously quite historic. It's a beautiful building. The town takes a lot of care in taking care of the building and the outside, but I think what happens inside the building is more important than the structure itself. And I think we try to keep on top of current movements. What happens inside that building really is current, it's advanced, and providing good opportunities for students and their achievement towards their success in the future. So, a few offerings that we do have. Obviously, we are preparing students for college, career, whatever their choice is for the future or the military career. So, you don't have to go to college, but you'll be prepared for college. There's a number of advanced placement courses. We start actually in grade 9 with AP World, so we have a strong, robust AP track. We're also, again, innovative opportunities for students. We have an innovative pathway currently in place, and we're working on developing some new ones along the way. But these innovative pathways create opportunities for students for real-world career applications and skill building. So we're very proud of that, and we continue to reach for those new things for students that prepare them for what's coming next out there in the real world. In terms of AP, we have increased our AP offerings for in-school to 19 total advanced placement courses. And Bedford is a very large school. We are not quite that large, but we do pack quite a punch in terms of academic offerings. We're very proud of that. We also have that AP capstone diploma program, and it's been very successful for our students, and a number of our students take full advantage of that. And I think I'll answer your golden nugget question maybe a little bit more political. I think, the best opportunity for students is whatever makes them the happiest in school. It could be athletics, it could be, a club. If that club brings them to school and makes them have a positive experience, I think that is their golden nugget. I think we work towards developing a golden nugget for every student. So we're proud of that, and we have a few other folks to talk a little bit more about what we have in office, and then turn it over to Ms. Tanya Dawson, our Director of Student Services. Oh, actually, Advanced Academics.
Hey, move the slide. Move the slide.
Dr. Acushnet is our academic lead for English.
Good evening, everyone. So, at FHS, our English program offers a range of courses that we're really proud of. We offer college prep and honors English, as well as AP Language, my personal favorite, AP Literature, and the AP Capstone sequence, including AP Seminar and AP Research. We also have electives like our creative writing course called Writing Beyond the Classroom, and a literature elective, History and Crime Literature, by popular demand. Last year we added Common Lit 360 to our ELA curriculum. Common Lit 360 is a program that gives students access to a wide variety of interesting, high-quality readings, along with activities that build skills in writing, discussion, and critical thinking. This allows students to engage in new texts while we continue to ground our instruction in our core works and our anchor texts. Students have a choice in what they read and continue to read beyond the classroom through our independent reading program.
But most importantly, what makes our department strong is what makes FHS strong, and that's our relationships. We know our students. We meet them where they are. And we help them grow into confident thinkers and communicators, ready for whatever comes next. Thank you.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for having us tonight. It's an honor to be here. I'm actually going to start with our electives first. Might as well get away from AP for a second, do some fun courses. We offer some really cool elective courses at very high school. First would be local history. We're looking at towns like Acushnet, David, Bedford, Dartmouth. Sometimes beyond those borders too. So obviously university with rich tradition and innovative ideas.
We need to modernize the microphone.
Yeah, geez. We have our criminal justice where we work with youth court. We have guest speakers come in. Sheriff's office, county comes in. We offer a modern issues classes where we look at validated resources and issues worldwide. Psychology courses, economics courses. And within these that, of course, we have other connections to. For example, we have a civics fair where students meet with local town officials, see how local small governments work, and see how they work on a micro level, or even a macro level, which is pretty cool. We also have a yearly survey that goes out to the students alongside the department to see which students want to take programs. That's where local history came from. So, for example, last year we asked the students if they like pop culture courses, if they like a civics course, if they like a great films course, if they like world history through myth and legend. These are ideas that stem from conversation with students and put out to the students and see what we run with next year. So we're constantly seeing what the students want and try to provide what they want, as well as what they need. Obviously, we offer AP World in the 9th grade, which is not all schools offer. So we then have a track possibly AP US History after that, AP Government, AP Economics, which is the math department. We have US 1, US 2, honors at all levels, world history as well. In the core classes, we do have traditional activities and assessments, but we're trying to pair it with assessments that allow students to choose the way they represent the information. So we set a goal for them, and they choose the path that works best for them to show that they understand what that skill, concept, historical topic is. There's research in every single class, which means they get to choose what they're interested in, and then prove that they can understand those firm-required skills, and allow them to have some choice and voice in a daily and in our classrooms. I appreciate you guys having us tonight. Thank you so much for the honor. Dr. Welton.
Good evening, I'm Dr. Welty. I've been in Creighton for 25 years. I left a pharmaceutical company to get their education, and that's the vision I tried to bring. I really tried to get the technology to the students, so micro-pipettes, small runs, spectrophotometers, real-time sensors. So that's been one of my goals. We're also a member of the Amgen Biotechnology Experience. This is through Harvard and Northeast. And through this, we created labs that I essentially did once getting my PhD. So that's an opportunity. What I really get excited about is when one of my students goes out to college and says, I knew how to use the equipment. I was the only one in the class that knew what we were doing. And that's, to me, that means I'm doing my job. And helping our students, push them, creating students, get ready for the job. I just submitted a grant for $70,000 for technology and professional development. And so with this grant, we're going to create a pharmaceutical course in the high school level. And in this, we'll be using spectrophotometers, which basically measure the amount of light chemicals in different concentrations. We'll be using something called CRISPR. Has anyone heard of CRISPR?
Okay, so CRISPR is a way to cut out genes and insert genes. It's sort of the latest rate. And what's really exciting to me is this is the cutting edge biotechnology in Massachusetts, and it's now coming into Massachusetts. So that's something we're going to do. One final note, my daughter also went to Fairhaven High School, and she took advantage of a lot of the opportunities. Nick Phillips, the audience, taught her how to code. That changed her life. She was an announcer on BTV. Now, where she's working, they ask her to do presentations. She does a much better job. We just offer our students lots of opportunities to get skills, real life skills, soft skills. Yeah, hard stuff, work, that's the soft skills. Relationships, speaking, and everything like that. But I think it makes our students successful. One final note. I found out tonight that 2 of my former students are actually Christian students. I don't know who's very Christian students. There are students, so I would have to. Thank you. Have a great day.
Good evening. Thank you so much for considering what our school has to offer. I'm Christine Neville. Sorry, I'm student. And I am the teaching and learning coach of the art department at Fairhaven High School. I'd like to highlight some of what our art and media department has going for us. We are a program that consistently proves ourselves as one of the strongest in the region. We prepare our students for college, careers, and community engagement. Our students have access to a complete sequence of courses in fine arts, digital art, photography, ceramics, and media arts. They can start as beginners and progress all the way to advanced placement and portfolio development. In advanced placement art, we have studio art, we have drawing, we have photography, we have ceramics and 3D. They gain skills in design, filmmaking, illustration, and communication. This ensures that every student, no matter their background, can find a path to creative success using industry standard equipment, supplies, and software. Our students regularly showcase their talents on state, regional, and national levels. They've been featured in Art Month exhibits, Scholastic Art Contests, UMass Dartmouth exhibits, and even at the Worcester Art Museum. Recently, our students competed in an international fashion design competition. It's called Jump Couture, and they traveled to Ireland to compete. We have students who have earned recognition at the New England Student Production Awards and National Film Festivals. Our students are published in National Honor Society journals, they create magazines, serve in galleries as assistants, and have internship roles in our local community. These opportunities give our students visibility and real-world experience before they graduate. Our alumni have had great success. Our graduates go on to thrive, not only in arts, but in education, architecture, fashion, film, communications. Alumni have become our educators in our own district. Filmmakers, professional photographers, designers at brands like Coach, Ramen, and even art therapists. Others have worked with musicians, celebrities, professional athletes. One recently received a Fulbright scholarship. They've gone on to top programs at Mass Art, Syracuse, Temple, Roger Williams, and UVM. It's proof that the foundation built here translates into college acceptance, professional careers, and community impact. In short, we don't just create artists in the art department, it develops leaders, innovators, and problem solvers. By choosing our school, you're giving your community, your students, our community, access to one of the most dynamic proven art programs in Massachusetts, one that enriches their education, prepares them for the future, and connects them to opportunities far beyond the classroom. Thank you so much.
Hello, I'm Molly McNulty. I'm the Choral Director at Fairhaven High School. I also have with me Kayla Bensler. She's the instrumental teacher at the high school. She also teaches at the middle school as well. So the Music and Drama Department at Fairhaven High School has a long-standing history as a cornerstone of the school's vibrant arts community, known for its excellence in performance, inclusivity, and our commitment to student growth. So as part of this commitment, the department offers structured pathways in both music education and music performance.
It allows students to tailor their learning based on their individual interests and their future goals. What we offer in school is band, orchestra, choir, piano, popular music history. We also have marching band, pep band, and jazz band. We're so excited about the growth of our marching band led by Caleb Ensler. It's going to be fantastic. We have gorgeous new uniforms. Wonderful. So importantly, all the extracurricular activities that we do, including drama productions, marching band, and other performance ensembles, they're offered at no additional cost to students. So it ensures that every student has equal access to be able to participate and grow within the program. Fairhaven High School also has a chapter of the Triad National Music Honor Society, which is an accredited honor society through the National Association for Music Education. Students at Fairhaven High School also continue to gain recognition at regional and state festivals, which continue to affirm the success of our programs. The department has built strong ties to the Fairhaven and Acushnet communities through concerts, theatrical performances, competitions, and partnerships with local organizations. We have annual plays and musicals and seasonal performances that draw large audiences. We often sell out our performances of our musicals from Fairhaven and surrounding towns, and that just reflects the talent and dedication of our students and staff. So with ongoing support from Fairhaven Public Schools and in collaboration with our friends in the Acushnet Music Department, thanks, Junior, the Music and Drama Department continues to enrich the school's cultural life while preparing students for future success in the performing arts. Thank you very much.
And now, to help all of our students through all of that academic situations and opportunities, our Director of Student Services, Dr. Dustin.
I have to say, I know you all can read the slide. I was standing over here, so proud to work with every single one of these people, because they are all about kids. I'm sorry I'm a little emotional, but I have worked in many other districts in surrounding areas, and I've never met people like them. And I hope I don't steal any thunder, but okay, I'm gonna go. We are all about all kids all the time, and I can stand here in front of you and say that with all of my being, that each and every one of us works very hard to ensure that our special education students receive what they need. I did sort of tear up when Mr. Kulak said about the golden nugget. It's about the kids. He's like so spot on when he said that. It's the kids' golden nugget. What they find important to them. Now, yes, we offer inclusion services. We offer services for our students that require a little bit more. We have an amazing empowered classroom for our children that are below. But they're out and they're in inclusion, and they're getting an amazing education, and they are included. I'm so proud to work with the Fairhaven High School staff. Whenever I have a situation with a student, we sit down, we problem solve, we think outside the boxes to make sure that our kids get what they need. And also, I do work very closely with the Acushnet families. We've had some families that require some additional support through my office, and I promise you, I show up all the time to make sure that the kids get what they need. Okay, now I'll turn it over to Tara.
All I know is I need lessons from Molly on how to work the microphone, because it's no wonder you're a singer and vocalist, because you have the most beautiful presence to the microphone. Let me try. So just quick, I wanted to showcase some recent accolades, and pardon me for reading, I hate when people do that, and I'm going to do it just because I won't remember every one of them. But in 2025, we're the first district in Massachusetts to get a district-wide accreditation. This is really huge. It was a big undertaking, but we applied to NEASC about 5 years ago before I was superintendent and asked if they would consider us for a district accreditation. When our superintendent at that time left and I became superintendent, quite frankly, I was overwhelmed with the thought of having to pull that off. But we did it, and we're really excited because it meant that we committed to very specific tenets that were important and quite frankly necessary to have an evolving educational system. In addition to that, FHS was named a School of Recognition by the Department of Elementary and Secondary Ed for exceeding state accountability targets last year. They were awarded the Innovation Pathway designation by DESE for business and finance. I often say we're small but mighty. We work really hard to really keep ourselves on the map, and that's for all of our students. Our football team, of course, was Division 6 state champions. I can never forget that. I will never live this down. For anybody who knows me, I am not athletic. This is kind of a joke. In fact, someone said, I think I saw Tara ran the road race, and the person who was answering the question said, you must be wrong because she doesn't exercise. How embarrassing is that? Horrifying. But anyway, my joke is I cannot leave out athletics, but I sometimes, focus on the academics so much that I sometimes forget to showcase the good things that our student body is doing. Like I love, we have someone here who just came from his golf match. So right from the course, dressed still in his uniform. So we have a lot of accolades athletically as well. I'm not going to say that anyone's perfect because I think all of our schools compete in different ways and we all wear different hats at different times. But we really centralize the nucleus of our district on what is right for all kids, truly at the core of it. Our school committee, like you, is very dedicated to working on what's right for all of the kids and make decisions and policy decisions in that way. We received the Advanced Placement Access Award for expanding access to all students. And how did that work? Because they looked at the increased number of kids in AP classes and from different demographics, and what was the growth factor in all of that. And we exceeded it, and we're recognized at the State House by the College Board. And also, FHS has been named Unified Champion School by the Special Olympics Association. Again, the first in the Commonwealth. I might be a broken record, but we're really proud of that distinction. I won't bore you with this, but you can look online at the NEASC goals and standards, and they're very research-based. They're made by a committee, and they go all over the world to study schools. So to be recognized as the first in Massachusetts is really an honor, and I think it's a great reflection on what all of our staff, dedicated staff, really do for our students, as you saw here. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Bellostracci. He's the Assistant Superintendent to talk about student experience.
Thank you, Superintendent Kohler. Good evening, everybody. I'm Mark Bellostracci, Assistant Superintendent. And before I get into the overview of all the different clubs and opportunities for students to participate in, I just want to thank 3 of our students that are with us this evening to really share their story of their successes, their experience, and feeling part of the Fairhaven High School culture. So we're really excited to have them here. But when we talk about student experience, I think it's been echoed by our department leads and coaches. We want to do what kids need. We want to give them what they need, what they're interested in, and what inspires them to be great. So when we look at how we identify and develop our programs, it's really all about what they need. We survey our students, we ask them for feedback, and we really value that feedback. Not only do we value it, we act on that feedback. Many of our new programs, our innovation pathways, we're seeking 2 additional as well. Currently, it's all about the students who are interested in what's going to provide them the best experience, the best opportunities moving forward after high school. So before we get into those overviews, I do want to introduce our 3 students with us this evening. We have Matt Lees, who's a current FHS senior. We have Maddie Gamble, who's an FHS senior as well. And then we have Leah Leitner, who is the FHS junior class president.
Hi, my name is Leah Leitner, and I am the junior class president. I just really want to talk about all the things that High School has given me all the opportunities that I've taken advantage of. Of course, the academics are endless. There's so many different courses you can take no matter the level that you might find yourself. But aside from that, I really do, I love how there's a community aspect to everything. Now, I personally have I've always loved to be involved, and I'm in various clubs, founder, clubs, president, and I just think that it's great, and it's really giving me the opportunity to make these lessons, get better at public speaking, which I don't personally love, but here's another opportunity to get better at it. And I love the environment that I step into. I love how sports are accessible to all. There's no price on them. I love that even some of our athletes, we have some really star ones, but all of our coaches see potential in everyone. And there's numerous sports such as volleyball, football, track and field, I believe, that everybody looks to because everybody has potential. And there's no single players that are better than anybody. And I really just love the environment. I have teachers that I can go to every single morning and they're willing to help me. So my dad's Dr. Belty, who I'm sure I'll see daily, taking these hard classes. But there's never a time where I don't have someone I can go to if I need help, or I'm never bored. And I truly do love everything in that area.
Hello everyone, my name is Madeline Gimlin. I graduated from Acushnet Schools in 2022, and I'm now an FHS senior. And I truly can't imagine myself anywhere else. And I would put that into two categories. One, because of the Green High School's culture, and two, because of their academic opportunities. So to speak on academic opportunities, I believe at FHS that we give to our staff. As Leah said, I can personally attest this with Mr. Osvaldo and with Dr. Belty. I had both of them as my AP teachers in the past few years, and they go beyond teaching in the classroom. With Dr. Welty, I had him as an chemistry teacher, which is well known as a very difficult class, and I spent hours in his room outside of my class time, getting help, getting assistance, and Mr. Osvaldo has pushed me farther than I could ever see myself going. So I do believe that we have staff members that they truly go far beyond expectations of what I can imagine. My mom is a teacher at Old Colony, and to see what teachers go through and then to see how my teachers experience the classroom, how they go beyond expectations, it's truly an attestament to FHS. So to speak more on academic opportunity, I have taken AP classes since my freshman year. I will graduate with AP Capstone, and truly AP classes, they are accessible to anyone. If you want to take an AP class, you go to your guidance counselor and they're like, yeah, you can do it. You want to take a dual enrollment class? They'll make it happen for you. The academic opportunity at FHS is endless. And now to speak on culture, as I said, I can't imagine myself at any other school. FHS is a place where I have been on school grounds until midnight for volleyball games and tennis matches. I've never not felt safe. I've never not felt included. One of our big programs, our Unified program, I think is really important to recognize. I've been a part of the Unified Club, and it is truly extraordinary. We bring students into the classroom, into sports, into everything that any other student would have the opportunity to have. The culture at FHS, as Mr. Kulak mentioned, it's not Acushnet Entertainment. It truly is FHS, and I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to be an FHS student.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Matt Neese. I'm a senior at Green High. I want to start by saying I graduated from Ford, and going for AP is like just going to a higher level of Acushnet schools. It's a family. Everybody's one. Playing baseball my whole life was always for AP and Acushnet, not one or the other. And when I heard about it kind of separating, it was like some of that hurt me as like, because it's a family. Everybody knows everybody. All the teachers are going to say hi, even if you haven't had them in your 4 years. And everybody is welcome. It builds your character as a person, and everybody wants you to get better. If it's in your academics, or personally for me, I'm a big sports person, so for me, every coach wants you to get better. Everybody is just hoping on the better you. If you want to go to college or you want to do something else after high school, it's all open at Fairhaven High. Everything's available for you, and I just feel like the school is somewhere you want to be. Everybody's asking, oh, are you excited to go back to school? I'm like, yeah, I am. I'm pumped to go back to school. It's fun. I say the best years of the year are September through November. It's the most fun. If you want to come watch a football game, there's no better place than Fairhaven High. I don't even play. I get excited. So I'm pumped for next Friday. I already got the schedule. I know I'm wearing all white. But no, it's like a family. You look around, you know everybody in the stands, you know everybody next to you, to your left, to your right. It's someplace I know I wouldn't want to be, or I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, per se. But yeah, it's like being a brother and sister, is how I look at Acushnet and Fairhaven. They're connected, and you talk about Acushnet, you talk about Fairhaven, you talk about both. And yeah, that's all I gotta say.
So I think that is a strong testament to a lot of the student experiences in different ranges. So we're really grateful for you all this evening, and thanks for joining us. Just go over a quick overview of our clubs and offerings. We offer 22 clubs annually. Those are automatic, and they're looking every single year. We run an additional anywhere from 8 to 15 more clubs that are based on student interest. They're actually called student interest clubs. They bring them to staff members present them to Principal Kurak, and then he brings them to us for funding. So we have a lot of different programs. I think one of the biggest ones that we've seen that was really new this year was a fishing club. So we had students that we want to be engaged after school. We don't have much going on. We want to stick around. And we had a teacher who came and advised it, and we created a fishing club. Now they fish in the Acushnet River. He said it's a catch and release. And they wanted that, thankfully. But just to give an idea, that's one of the many that is now currently the club can offer that every single year because it was so successful. Student organizations, again, they speak for themselves. We recently started a DECA chapter last year, which is great. Our students who have participated. We'll have over 40 students involved in that this year. It's the second year. We have a marching band that is on the rise. We're super excited about the leadership of our music and band departments and where they're going and what they're doing. We've already started to see a lot more student interest in those. And then I think when we talk about that golden nugget, what's that crown jewel, as Superintendent Kohler mentioned, that day of service is an amazing, amazing experience. Every single student grades 9 through 12 is involved in giving back to their local community, including right here in Acushnet. And to have that and have students coming back to their schools where they grew up, where they came before they became FHS Blue Devils, I think that's really something that I'm very proud of, to be a member of the district that would do something like that, take a whole school day and make sure that our kids are having that experience to give back. When I talk about student interest and feedback that they give us, we talked about providing some community service opportunities, and our seniors last year came in and said, we want the day of service back, we want to run this full day. It was student-led, we had a great advisor for it, our staff was amazing, and they chaperoned all over the region. It was really, I think, one of the greatest things that I've been a part of in education. And again, we offer additional enrichment clubs and organizations just based on what they need and what they're interested in. Athletically, I think that Fairhaven is a school that's on the rise athletically. It's traditionally a very powerful sports programs. Met most recently with the Super Bowl appearances the last couple of years. We're an MIAA school, obviously we're governed by their rules and regulations. And we offer all the following sports that you see on the right side. You'll notice to the left corner, we have a very old high school, 1906, where we have a state-of-the-art facility. And that's part of the town's efforts, that's part of the school committee's efforts. We really try and give our kids the very best of everything. Not only do they go to a school that's like going into Hogwarts as a building, they get to walk out and participate and compete on a state-of-the-art surface and a state-of-the-art stadium. And we can't do that without the support of our community. But also a big part of our athletics, as well as academics, is our alumni association. We have the most robust alumni association in New England. We have over 1,000 members. Last year alone, they donated well over $150,000 to us, to our students, to projects, to facilities. Our scoreboard in the stadium was a donation of the Fairhaven Alumni Association. So it's just really an amazing culture that spans way beyond their 4 years at Haven High School. It spans way into their lives, and our current president, Mr. Bob Foster, that has a teacher at Haven High School years ago, he comes in and still gives tours. And he is so excited each and every day to be part of that alumni organization, and he gives so much back to our students. You'll also notice in winter and spring that we participate in unified athletics. Probably the greatest days of the week is when we have unified games. Our entire school population attends those games. They have announcers, live scoreboard referees. It's a phenomenal experience. And it's also one where we've also trickled down to both the middle school and elementary school levels with unified athletics from K-12 at Fairhaven Public Schools, which is really a feminine capital of Gregory Dawson, among others. You'll also see, just really quickly with the spring season, we have a unified track and field. Again, just a great way of getting kids together and providing inclusion and being inclusive as a school and as a district. These are just a couple of quick photos from their most recent year. We were able to participate in a game last January at the Boston Garden. And really, what an experience for our students, what an experience for our families to be able to come out, play on that court with the Celtics and all the greats that played. And you can see on the right side, students that always can play and coach, they come back and coach our unified teams. So I think that speaks volumes to the inclusive nature of Fairhaven High School, and really it's about all kids all the time. And you see that on the moniker, you hear it a lot, but it's truly the values that we live and strive for each and every day. I think this is another big thing to mention. Right now, it's difficult sometimes, in schools where there are user fees. Economic times are tight, and a lot of schools go to fees, and we don't always have a choice. But we in Fairhaven at the high school especially are committed to no fees for any activity, no athletic activity, no club, no marching band, etc. We are one of the only schools in the South Coast, and even in southeastern Massachusetts, that does not require a fee to participate in marching band. We don't require a fee to purchase instruments. We provide all those things for our students. And again, at no cost to me as a parent of 2 children in school is significant. Savings of up to thousands of dollars a year for multiple students in the family. So I think that's a huge piece of it. You also notice innovation pathways have been mentioned. We do have one that we're currently in the business and finance sector. Those come along not only with advanced placement courses, they come along with free dual enrollment courses, free dual enrollment opportunities, and free opportunities to get industry level credentials upon graduating from their high school. We want to give our kids an extra edge and step up. This really is the first beginning of that phase. We have 2 more, one in health and social services, the other in environmental science. So we're going to be working with all of our regional organizations, businesses, local communities, Mass Higher, New Bedford, all to make sure that our kids have every single thing that they need. And we've been very fortunate to have such great support from the Christian community, the Canadian community, as well as the Greater Bedford region as well. That's everybody else. Superintendent Cole for final remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you all for your patience as we navigate these wires and get people off and on the stage. But I hope by now you've gotten the sense that we truly are all Lugans, and I mean that from the very, my very core. It's a testament hearing you guys speak. Actually, I want to thank you for coming and doing that. A lot of our kids were already doing, sports and scrimmages and those types of things, and you coming off the golf course and you two spending your evening with us. One of you made me almost cry. I was like, but they say it best. And again, this isn't meant to be, a competition. I think that what happens in New Bedford High School is wonderful. I think we have 2 very different communities, and they offer great things to your kids. So you have 2 really fantastic choices already. I just want to say that I think, we're small. It's obvious we're small. They're big. It's obvious they're big. But we both offer unique things. We're staying above and trying to be the best in our area. And I mean that, with all sincerity. Now, when it comes to next school spending, I just wanted to answer some more of your questions that you all, by the way, school committee, can have a folder with a little bit more detailed packet. But just so that the audience can hear, we do hover between 2% and 12% above net school spending, which is relatively low. But I want to just point out to everyone, because I just don't think it's fair to just tell that part of the story. The net school spending formula deducts the amount of tuition that came in from a sending school. So if, say, Acushnet left Fairhaven, we would look like we're at 20%. That's just the way the formula works. So I do have an asterisk on that in your handout because it is misleading. But when you see graduation day and all the kids, I always say we're not perfect, but we work hard with people to make things better. And we really live by those mottos. We're always committed to looking into resources to give you the best value for your tuition, quite frankly. And you know, I wanted to say out loud, we stand ready to meet with you regarding next steps and what it is you're, wanting to do. Please reach out to me, send questions, make meetings, whatever you want to do. We're always happy to talk. And I guess I'll just open it to questions and call people up as necessary.
Hi. Can you talk a little bit about class sizes, what those look like?
Sure, we're about 12 to 1. Very similar to New Bedford with a 13 point something to 1. Again, we try to run classes that kids have interest in, so it can be a class of 20 over here and a class of 6 or 7 over here. But we do also prioritize it where if they're an honors class, you may be a little bit bigger. Because a lot of times our college prep classes may need a little bit more support or particular attention. So, or like an AP class sometimes.
Could you talk a little bit more about what it means to be awarded a pathway designation and like business environment? What kind of opportunities are kids getting?
Sure. So it's actually a pathway where students take courses, very specific list of courses, but they leave with certain certificates. So they'll have opportunities to intern in a bank. We recently opened a bank on our property again. So we have a bank right in our school that those students will intern in. So our kids actually leave with a banking finance pathway that allows them to go right into the workforce with the skills needed to enter it. It's pretty competitive. We have a lot of kids who want to do it right now. We've been able to honor all of those requests. But as Dr. Welty was saying about science, there's been a lot of interest in pharmaceutical and other types of sciences, and as a result, those are the next 2 pathways that we're actively going after right now. We have our interest letter already in and accepted to the Commonwealth. But that was really great to go to the event with the governor and have them really celebrate what we're doing. So.
So I see that you've got a nice breakout on safety and security in the schools. What does the SRO ratio look like? How many do you have on?
Sure. We have 1 full-time at the high school. I do want to speak to safety and security for a minute, and I'm glad you actually brought that up again. I too was at New Bedford High School at the time you just talked about. So I just want to say that I have an entirely different perspective on school safety than you might hear from most schools. So I'm just going to tell you the truth. We believe that it's founded in relationships first. If you remember at New Bedford at that time, it was because of a kid's relationship with a teacher that the story got out. When I say the story got out, I got to law enforcement and investigated. It was a real true threat at the time. And right when I got out of high school, there was actually a murder in my high school, and that was about 1 or 2 days before you all had a tragedy right here at Ford Middle School. So I'm one of probably the loudest people about school safety, and I say it entirely different. This is like really too much information about me, but I was a psychology major and criminal justice major, and I also was a firefighter. So put all that together, I have a very unique perspective. But what does it do is we have meetings every 2 weeks with our fire chief and our police chief and are constantly assessing our safety and security, and I mean it to the minute. So I don't believe in training kids, and I'm firmly against it, because 98% of your school shooters are current or former students, and you just told them how to get more people. So I am a firm believer in not training kids, and I will stand by that because I've lived it and know it can happen anywhere. So I'm happy to answer those offline, but I prefer to not share publicly what our safety plans are. Sorry. Actually, it's kind of fun because kids started to question, and they said, "We know what you're doing. You have like almost like air marshals in the schools." They thought we had teachers packing. It was really funny, but anyway. That's a side note, but when you live it and know it can happen anywhere, you have a different view on it.
I have a question. As far as, I think this is a big issue after COVID, but just getting some of the kids who have mental health issues and are addressing like school attendance with anxiety, just wondering what efforts the school makes to get those children into the classroom settings.
That's a fantastic question, thank you. You know, it's funny, COVID taught us a lot of good things and bad things, and one of the things was certainly mental health and isolation. And one of the other pieces with that has been our ratio is similar to what you just heard. It's under the state averages and so forth for counselors. But I would say it's an individual student approach. So I've had kids who started the year, and I don't want to give any real description in case you know the child, but who want to have no part in stepping foot in the school. And we will start with, you know, come in after school at this time, we'll just walk around. And I've seen Miss Dawson at people's houses helping the parent get the child out of the spread of the house. And I'm telling you, it's individual. So there's no real recipe for it, but what I can say is I think personally what's worked for us is really building a relationship with the family and setting small goals. And I always say it's like having a child like dip their toe in the water. Let's start with that, have a success, a little bit more. And we do have online programs that can round up the academics in the meantime, but I think it's something we have to look at real seriously. And also pair that with our family center, who has some great services all around, wraparound services. Sometimes they need an outside therapist who can be a little bit more, you know, do a little bit deeper work as to the root of it. But that is something we really work on. And we use the COVID monies from the federal government for the purpose of having more fun opportunities for kids to connect. So we actually ran enrichment club with the money so that kids would actually get used to being around each other again. Because we had kindergartners who were like, you know, wanting to stand completely away from other people. So I hope that answered your question.
Dave's service sounds amazing, but I'm just curious, do you have any other programs or things around civic engagement or leadership that you're
Gosh, I'm sure other people can jump in here, but certainly they do civics projects. So every, you know, through the process, we always joke with Rob, we're like, okay, here they all come, because everybody's going to give all their ideas on what they want to change. Guys, do you have anything you want to share about that? Any student? Rob?
Actually, it's embedded in their history classes, not just through the civics project, but U.S. history too. In world history, they do an op-ed piece where they choose a world issue, and then they research it and create whatever presentation, essay, podcast, whatever, and kind of educate their peers about. Sophomore year, they take the current American issue and see if they can find historical antecedents to it. Try to get some good participation just by looking at the past. And obviously, the state mandated civics project, which comes in U.S. history 2 classes, where the project is very much very finite issues to big grandiose issues. So we do embed it into our actual curriculum too. And sometimes we tag some of our common assessments, and when those opportunities do come up, so the students actually recognize what they are engaged civically, even though they're in a classroom, that they can see beyond what's in front of them and say, oh, so this is what it means to be civically engaged, and start to see this connection, that connection, my impact beyond just these four walls.
I have a question about late buses and transportation for extracurriculars. Does the Fairhaven High School offer any late bus options for kids?
That's a problem with our current agreement. So if we talk about the agreement, there are plenty of things that I think we need to revisit. It was done well before I was even working in central office. I was the principal. So I lived a lot of the challenges that we're still living today. So I think that's one of the things that I would recommend, that when we get to the table and decide to continue the partnership, that we talk about what that looks like, because it's something I've always really wanted. But the way the money works with tuition, just so everybody's educated, is the money goes to the town of Fairhaven. It doesn't come to us to use it to pick the things that are important to us. So that's been a real challenge, and then they hold us to the contract. So my goal for us is whether or not, first I'd like to know if you want to continue the relationship, and if you do, I think we should get in the room as soon as possible and start really fixing the things that could be better, because there are plenty and Lake Bus is one of them.
Are there any other things that stand out to you that you'd like to reevaluate or work in the department?
Yes, for sure. One is the halftime counselor. I don't think that's works great the way it is. I think it was something that was needed at a one particular time. I also think I would look at how our special education, works, as well as even the enrollment. I've actually talked to my business manager about why are we doing it like in real time, right? Why isn't it maybe done based on the previous year or something, so you have some prediction of what your cost is instead of it being like, what's our number this year? I think there are things like that that would benefit both communities for sure.
One last question. Do you have any career education that I've made for this?
We just have the pathway right now. We are working with the current New Bedford VOC to offer FHS students, which would include our Acushnet students. We've already confirmed that. For some after dark programs, similar to what New Bedford's already doing, they were able to pilot it with some grants that they had, but the state is looking to expand that further. So in doing that, Greater New Bedford VOC is actually offered to work with us to expand that opportunity for FHS students. Thank you.
Thank you very much, all of you, for your participation and for the students for coming as well.
Thank you. Don't judge me on that one.
I'm not sure going number 3 was the best spot at this point, everyone. Looks like they might need to move a little bit. The educator is telling me that. Feel free to stand up, stretch, consider it the 7th inning. We will not be offended whatsoever. My name is Mike Nelson. I am the superintendent, actually the proud superintendent of schools for Old Rochester Regional School District, and also the superintendency union number 55. Not to go too deep into that, but we are a unique system that is actually comprised of 4 separate school districts. Old Rochester actually represents our junior high school and high school that sit on one campus. And then the superintendency union number 55 is comprised of 3 separate elementary districts. One representing the Marion School District, which is Sippican Elementary School, pre-K through 6. A different school district representing that of Poison, which is pre-K through 6, Center School in Old Town, and another school district, which is the Rochester School District, which represents Rochester Memorial School, another pre-K through 6 district. And what happens is that those 4 school districts have decided that they will come together again for a 5th school district called the Joint School Committee. And what that does is it allows Old Rochester, again, junior high and high school, to sit down with its elementary districts and towns and talk about what is best practices, knowing that the majority of our students from all 3 towns funnel into Old Rochester. I share this with you because I think that makes us an ideal candidate for the type of situation that you're looking for. I understand we're talking about elementary and middle school students, but we have a long history of being able to work with this model and do it successfully. This is my 12th year working in the district, my 6th year as a superintendent. I've also served as the assistant superintendent of teaching and learning and the director of student services for many years as well. And simply put, I love Old Rochester and I love my job. It is my great honor to introduce Principal Mike Ball, a longtime principal at Old Rochester, and Lauren Millette, who's also worked multiple hats for our district in her years working with us, but is currently our assistant principal, and I'm going to let them introduce some special guests who I think some of you may know. So thank you very much for having us here. We are so excited and have been waiting a long time to be able to get to this podium.
Feels like an episode of The Bachelor. Hi, thank you, Superintendent Nelson. I appreciate the introduction. I do think it's also important to mention that the Vice Chair of our school committee is here this evening, Ms. April Nye, as a wonderful supporter of our school district. And then just kudos to the other schools that are here. I'm amongst a lot of familiar faces and wonderful professionals and great school districts. I wanted to go first, but it was great to watch some of the others go to figure out what your questions are going to be. So, we opened up with our teachers, back to school, welcome back day on Monday, and the great part of that event for the entire school district is the awarding of pins. We award service pins for meeting career milestones, and I guess I lost track of the time. I got my 25th pin here at Old Rochester. I've been around the school since the fall of 2000. Okay? I was a history teacher. I was the assistant principal. I'm starting tomorrow, first day of school, my 17th year as the principal of the high school. I've been to the last 2 open houses at this school for 8th graders. I'm a coach at Old Rochester right now. I coached 2 seasons last year. I'm a club advisor. I'm also a parent. My son's going to be a sophomore, and then I've got an 8th grader that'll be a year away. My wife teaches right next door. She's an English teacher. So, poor kids, right? I actually was kind of disappointed to see that you were limiting us to 20 to 30 minutes because I feel like I'm uniquely qualified to really talk about our school and programming. But I do appreciate being here tonight. This is Ms. Lauren Millette, our Director of Guidance. Oh, was our Director of Guidance, now it's our Assistant Principal.
Many hats, but I'm very excited and happy to be here and to tell you about our amazing school. We have an incredible community. I definitely think that having such strength and leadership with Mr. Duvall is a really great source of pride for our community. It feels like a family where everyone is there to support each other. Sometimes I joke that he lives at the high school because he just knows anything and everything about all the kids. It's everything that you would ever want as a parent for your child to know that the principal knows everything about what your child needs to be successful. So I'm super grateful that I have the chance to be his assistant principal. We're really pumped that we get to have 2 of our Acushnet students here to share their experience with you. Who better to talk to you about why you choose Old Rochester than 2 Acushnet students who are here and have been living the student experience. We are huge believers in student voice, so I'm very proud to introduce Abby DeSorsi and Morgan Kaiba, and let them say hello to you as well.
I have been a part of many clubs for a long time. I'm a part of the Masters Club, knitting crochet, AFS, Kyle Pairs. I am the captain of the dance team, and I am also a part of the early education program.
I'm Morgan. Out of Rochester, I'm a part of the field hockey team, the science and Olympiad, environmental club, and student newspaper club.
Awesome, thank you for being here to join us. So, trying to anticipate what are we walking into tonight? What's this going to look like? Feels like, are we a match? What are your core values and beliefs, and what is your mission? And when I saw this information, it felt like the word stuck out: partnership. You're seeking a partnership, and in a safe, supportive environment. But for the vision for me, and knowing what I know about being here the last 2 years, I think the big question is, how will Acushnet students, how will they fit in at Old Rochester? what will we do for them to provide them the opportunities that we are going to rave about tonight, because it's easy to do that. But I would think like being a new student, okay? You leave this wonderful school, and then what's next? So we want to make sure that there's a safe and warm landing spot for what comes next. So, I mean, we can match up our visions and our missions and all of those things, but it feels like we're compatible. Like what you're looking for is going to be a lot of what we can offer you as a school district. But for me, it's I consider Old Rochester to be the regional school district of the South Coast. Okay, I came into the school in the fall of 2000. I came into what we considered the Tri-Town, the 3 towns. That's not who we are anymore. Okay, we are the regional school district of the South Coast. With of our 617 students, 95 of them are not from that Tri-Town. Okay, so that's a large population of students that walk in the first day at Old Rochester in grade 9 as a new student. How do we do bringing them in, embracing them? And then 16 of our students are from Acushnet. And then, to be honest with you, who cares? Really? Who cares? You're a Bulldog, you're ours. You walk through the door, you're one of our students. So to hear things like, fit in, we're not active, you're a Bulldog. Okay? Our kids that went to our junior high had to walk through that door after their 6th grade year, right? They in their elementaries, as Superintendent Nelson said. Okay, so they had 7th and 8th. Our 9th grade is truly a first day for everyone. We hosted our new student orientation last week, where we welcomed 22 school choice students. I don't care where they're from, I don't care that they're school choice. Welcome to Old Rochester. Here's our new student orientation, and let's go. The first day of school tomorrow. Okay? I just posted on the club advisor. I'm the advisor of the ambassador club. We just posted in our Google Classroom to all of the ambassadors who, sorry kids, will be wearing those shirts tomorrow on the first day. They'll be wearing those to school because I want them to stand out. There's 70 ambassadors and there's 70 red shirts. Red, beautiful shirts. Why? I want the new students to look for the friendly faces. Look for the red shirts. Find the kids that are ambassadors that will help you. We don't care where you're from. We care that you're one of us and you're a Bulldog. So, I hate to be a reminder, I get to pick up your first day of school. Awesome. For some, that's a good thing. Check that stressor. For others, yikes. Okay? Academic offerings, I'll put them up with anybody's. It was great to see everybody else's academic offerings. We have a robust program of studies. We've submitted, we put it through for you. 3 world languages and engineering courses. You can read the slides. One of the things I also was trying to tease out was, I feel like it was important that we want to know about in-person opportunities. These APs are in-person, okay? So our kids are taking classes in-person with our highly trained professionals, okay? We don't subscribe to virtual schools and that we have an online class that we use, the Ingenuity that you may see from other schools, but those are primarily for credit recovery and summer school purposes. Our kids are accessing our program of studies in-person with our staff, okay? Similarly, we've achieved different levels of success within College Board for opening doors for kids and providing opportunities. We have open enrollment in our classes. Okay, so what class do you want to take? Take those classes. All right, it gets a little dicey for like an 8th grade to 9th grader because for the first time in their life, you open our program and say, "Whoa, there's a lot here." Typically in grade 8, you get handed your schedule. Good luck. But for grade 9, we want to hear from you. We want to know what are you interested in. And there's a lot of areas there. And so that open enrollment allows us to attract kids to what they're interested in, teach them courses at a level that's appropriate for them. And I think a partnership with Acushnet would only strengthen our ability to meet the needs of an incoming 9th grade class. So of those students that I mentioned from Acushnet, we don't have a partnership with Acushnet. So they come in as a new student. It'd be great to be a partner so we will have better understandings of what happens in grades 6, 7, and 8. And what are we walking in with in terms of a skill set for our 9th grade class. So. I'm going to pass this over to Mrs. Millette. Director of Guidance was the hat she wore brilliantly, and now she's the assistant principal. There's no one that can talk better about this.
Okay, so I wanted to share some opportunities that we have for our students specific to dual enrollment. We do work very closely with local colleges so that our students can participate in dual enrollment classes. Through our early childhood program, students actually can take free courses. We have a partnership with BCC. We had one graduate from last year that is heading into her freshman year of college with an associate's that she was able to earn for free because of that partnership that we have through our early ed program, as well as through our innovation pathway sectors that we have, business and finance and manufacturing. Students have opportunities for free college courses as well. We just had 5 students just finish up taking courses with Boston Architectural College, who we have partnered with for our architecture and manufacturing sector. So our kids have a lot of opportunities. We also have students who want to start the college process super early, and they might spend their entire senior year taking classes, but yet they are still eligible to participate in everything that our building offers. We had one student last year that engaged in mostly college classes, but then also came in and volunteered in the classroom and helped in many ways to serve as a leader in a role. So we've got lots of great opportunities with dual enrollment. We also, within our Chapter 74 Career Vocational Technical Education, have really great courses for our students where they start with Intro to Early Education and then they move through a series of courses. They are actively working with preschools. We have a preschool within our own building, as well as we have partnerships with local child care facilities, and our students are preparing themselves to become educators for preschool and younger ages. I want to let Abby take a second and actually talk about it because Abby is a part of our early childhood program. So Abby, do you want to share a little bit about your own experiences?
So, throughout the years, our first 2 years, we are able to, we've learned inside the classroom, but we also spend a lot of the time in preschool, that is in school. We go through, like, with our teacher, how what we should be doing, the schedule during the day, and alongside with the regular curriculum class, and so we go in and get a lot of hands-on experience and learn a lot with children.
And then by the time that they're seniors, they're doing externships, they're headed out, and they are spending time getting their lab hours and their experience. So it's a wonderful area that we're really proud of.
To answer your question, one of many crown jewels would be our preschool. And I'm not just saying that because the preschool teachers' husbands in the back. We have a wonderful co-op preschool where our high school students are in our preschool all day long. We have a pretty lengthy waiting list to get for preschool age students to get in because of the high quality instruction that they get, and then the high quality instruction that our students get. And it really gives me great pride at graduation to honor the students that are leaving our CTE program, and many of which are going off into the field, okay, or to further studies in the college level. So, crown jewel for sure. Then again, these are the in-person courses. Right? They're all in-person. As you can see, the slides are flowing based on what you were looking for in your criteria. We wanted to hit them all, so this is one of our slides. We do offer online in-person summer school, but it's done through our Ingenuity program. Students can take summer school. We do staff it with 2 classroom teachers that assist students. And in fact, we open up our summer school to students from all over, so it's quite often we'll see students from Colony come for credit recovery in our summer program. We get access. We will communicate with their sending school as to what their needs are and make it work for their summer opportunities. Our schedule, so really this is for me the fall of 2000 academic. And we have had, since before I got there, one academic schedule. Now I would challenge any high school to do the same in 25 years, okay? We've got schools that are constantly tweaking and trying new things. We've had one schedule because it works. because it works, all right? The only change we made in 25 years, there used to be 90-minute classes. Now there's 75 because we've added the intervention block, the Bulldog block, which we have. We have an intervention block. Many schools come to see our intervention block to see how we do it. And to be honest, I can't remember what life was like without it. All right. We were talking this morning with the students, and I kind of asked them a little bit of what do you do during the Bulldog block? And they each gave 3 different answers, and I'm like, oh, those are all correct. There was a good answer for each of it. So tell me about the Bulldog block, girls.
At least for me, a lot of the time is either I can schedule different teachers that I need extra help with, or just get your absent to get work done for their classes. But also a lot of clubs are running during that time, so you're able to go participate in clubs during school hours, so you don't have to stay after school.
For me, the Bulldog block mostly is a period where I can just sit with my favorite teachers or like just somewhere I want to leave the school and just get all of the work I have to do done. So that I don't have any interfering with after school activities.
And I would say for me, especially with my director of guidance lens, I love the Bulldog block because this is where we bring a lot of our colleges and employers in to meet with our kids. They don't have to worry about missing out on a class to meet with someone that's coming in from a college or from a business because our campus stops at that time and we're able to create multiple opportunities for our students. So I absolutely love the Bulldog block for that. I think it's something that is another thing that we're really proud of.
At our orientation, we had our 70 ambassadors up on the stage, and it was tedious, but it was important. I passed the microphone to each of our upper class ambassadors, and I asked them to say their name and what grade they were in, and then to list the activities that they were involved in. Okay? And some of them needed to take out their phone to continue the list because there were so many things. And what I wanted that for was to drive the point home that they were saying and, not or. They were saying, I'm in the band and the drama club and I play this sport and I have a part-time job. So we don't like to put kids in the middle of difficult decisions. So how do we make it all work? We have some clubs that meet during Bulldog block. We have some clubs that meet after school. We want the answer to be and, because we flipped the script at our school from a school to a campus. And our campus is never closed. So there's always something to do. And inevitably, the older we get, the busier we get. So Morgan, she spends her 40 minutes every day getting work done. Great idea, okay? Versus, I was absent today, tomorrow in my Bulldog block, I'm gonna go see a teacher. One of the challenges that I foresaw when I became an administrator at Old Rochester was, we are a regional school district, okay? And for some of our kids, perhaps they live far out in Rochester or way down a long road in Mattapoisett. Staying after school was hard for them. So how did we then figure out a way to make that and? I need help in math, and I want to play on a sports team. So the Bulldog block for me answers the question of when. I can't imagine life without it. Student experience, 41 students in clubs. It's not a contest, but we got one. All right. 3 seasons of athletics, 25 varsity sports, 2 unified sports as a member of the Southwest Conference, and year-round fine arts, concerts and productions. Crown Jewel, come to a show. Come to see the drama club. It is remarkable. I think what I'm most proud of on this slide is our participation rate. Okay, we have 617 students today, 300 of which have been on campus since August 18th already. Okay, participating in our fall athletic season. There are schools that dream about that type of a ratio, that percentage. Okay, and so the participation rate is what's important for me. The last one's nice too. I like to win. But it's getting kids involved in sports and trying to create opportunities for as many kids as possible. So I think a lot of talk was around busing and things like that. So we do have a late bus, 2 days a week for kids at 3:30. Students are dropped off at one of 3 local libraries. I would envision if this partnership were to materialize, we would have a similar conversation about how do we support our kids after school. because, again, it's a campus, all right? Schools have hours of operation. We have a campus system that's always open. So our student experience includes a very strong social emotional learning opportunity. And before tonight, I wish I had known this. Last year when I was here, our students at our junior high, all the way preschool through grade 8, are learning the responsive classroom. That is a staple of this district. So we are a responsive classroom district, all right? So all of our students that walk into 9th grade at Old Rochester that have gone through our school have had that exposure to that pretty impressive curriculum. So I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Millette. We did talk about the Bulldog Block. That trusted adult is you're assigned a mentor for the Bulldog Block, and it's a teacher. It's an adult. I'm a mentor, all right? Tomorrow morning, every kid starts their day with their mentor. So I've got 8 kids. I've got 8 kids coming to see me first thing in the morning tomorrow. That's the trusted adult that I will have with them for 4 years.
We also have our ORR Cares programming, and so this is something that is student-led but staff-supported, and it is with a focus on mental health. We heard our students saying we really want to do more to ensure that our student mental health is supported, and we want to create opportunities to build community through that. So our kids formed the club themselves, came to adults and said, how do we get this up and running? Abby is actually a member of ORR Care, so I'm going to let her share her experience as well, since we love hearing the student experience.
So, through the past year, we've been able to raise money to go towards supporting mental health. We've also posted resources along between the entire school on how to help and the bulletin boards. We've also posted craft nights to get people just from the community to come on by to maybe make some new friends, hang out, just learn strategies.
They also had a green out night for athletics, where we encourage everybody to come to a game, wear green to show support for mental health awareness. And there's a lot of planning that it's already going into this year, and I'm excited to see what the students do with our cares this year. We also have Character Strong, and that's an SEL curriculum at the high school level. We also use it for our advisory at the junior high. So our kids are familiar with it. It is a focus on sense of self, self-awareness, on goal setting, the opportunity to build out your vision, to be thinking about what's my purpose, knowing what your passions are, what's my purpose, and how can I use it for not only my own personal growth, but for the growth of our community. And so our students' future plan, they see this through the work with our social workers, but also through our grade-specific guidance curriculum that we have. So we have opportunities where our guidance counselors are meeting with students and covering lots of topics so that we can help support the SEL components for our students, not only in the classroom, but also with very targeted lessons. We also are, this year for the first time, going to have a freshman seminar. We've heard from a lot of our families and students that they really would like for us to help their student to gain skills with how do you study for a final exam, how do you send an email. We were noticing that some students were coming to the high school and the entire email was in the title, the header. So we were like, you know what, we need to spend some time on how do you write an email, how do you send a letter, and then also just working with our staff and our students on what are some areas of need. And so our teachers have helped to build a curriculum to support our students so that they feel like they're very organized. We use student voice in the building of that curriculum, but we're also going to supplement it with the Character Strong curriculum as well.
2 things for me on the student experience that I think is relevant. That freshman seminar, I am a way better principal this year than I was last year because I had a freshman last year as a student. So I was able to see through the lens of the parent. And yeah, it's stressful at our house. How do you study for a final exam? Yeah, it's stressful. It sounds great. Everything's in your Google Classroom. But that's it. Everything's in your Google Classroom. So helping kids navigate skills that we assume they have. You know, those executive functioning skills, we make assumptions and let's fix it. Let's do something about it. So I failed my son, so he's repeating his freshman exam. The second thing I want to say is that in terms of student experience, right? I did this about 9 years ago, and it's changed, I think, me as a professional, and I hope the experience for our new students. In June, in June, I send an email to all incoming students, no matter where they're from, and I offer them 30-minute personal orientations in my office, okay, for a parent and a student. And I have a sign-up sheet, and this past year, freshman class of 136, 51 kids came in. 51 kids dragged their parents in, okay, in the middle of the summer. All right, and so what are we doing for 30 minutes? We're talking about what they can expect for their freshman year. And how do we string together as many positive firsts as we can? So that, because what is a new student worried about? Will my locker open? Will I get lost on time's lunch? Will I have friends? Okay, but I try to go past that. That's what orientation is. That's what for the full freshman year. This is about how do I string together a great first day of school, and then a great first week, and next thing you know, I've got a successful month, and it's the end of term 1, and I had a happy, successful, and then we're in June, and we can look back and say, my first year as a new student, regardless of where I was from, was positive and successful, and I made sure Morgan participated. She dragged her mom in. Her mom's here for one of those meetings, and it's been, as soon as the meeting's end, I fire off an email to Morgan's teachers titled, Getting to Know Your Freshman. I had the pleasure of meeting Morgan today. This is what she's interested in. This is some of the areas that she has shined in her career, in her life. These are some areas that she's a little anxious about, whether it's a new foreign language class, or so that we can really get to know our students. And so it's changed me as a professional. I hope it's helped kids transition well to a new setting. We've met our 2 students. All right, we should have put the slide up at the beginning. But it's, this moment where Mrs. Millett was like, oh, I invited 2 students. And I'm like, wow, they're professional. Oh, okay, great. They're Bulldogs, as we've said. It doesn't matter. Support services, this is special education, right? So our special education Superintendent Nelson hangs his hat on his experience as a director of student services and his work in special education. It is a strength of our school district. Many students are coming into our district for the services we can provide, whether it be full inclusion, as those opportunities exist, or some partial inclusion opportunities within our severe classrooms. We are a fully inclusive school, but full inclusion doesn't include all of the needs that every student might have. And we're able to provide needs for students in a variety of ways. We have sub-7 settings. We have an awesome severe classroom of high school made up of life skills students. These students participated in life skills and then matriculate into our 18 to 22-year-old school population, and they're working on their post-high school vocational work. All right. And again, like our Bulldog Block, we have schools that come and visit our programming to see what we're doing so well. So it's a strength of the school district. Lots of special ed talk here for the educators in the room. The best way I describe it is we service special ed kids in a variety of ways. We have our students that need a learning support center, so they're scheduled in a learning center where they stay with one special ed teacher. We call them liaisons for 4 years, and they go to their classes. But they're getting their academic support in the learning center and working towards the goals of their IEPs. We also have some students that are part of our instructional support program that may have a learning disability, but may also have a social emotional need, and we staff that with 2 teachers and 2 social workers to support students and whatever needs may arise outside of the classroom. We wish all of the kids well with English, math, and science, okay? But we've got wonderful social workers that help our students, as well as our life skills class of high school age kids, and then our 18 to 22-year-old students who do all the things like run our Bulldog Cafe during the day, participate in, we had a sold plants. Sold plants this spring, so they're very much a part. We have an on-campus garden, functioning garden, so there's always garlic available, and there's always ears of corn should you need it, and so at a very minimal cost. And then these are the related services that I think you would see in all of the schools.
presented. We're super proud of being a unified sports champion school. We're super proud of that. And our students, and what I think we kind of go even a step further than many schools, okay? While we do offer the after-school unified basketball in the fall, like all of the schools, it is the best event of the day, week, month. Go to those unified basketball games. They're awesome. Unified track and field in the spring. Oh, I left it up. We have unified weight training. We have unified weight training as well. But we also offer in-school during the day opportunities. We have a unified peer partnership class that Mrs. Millett brought to us, where our students are supporting their unified teammates in classes and around the school during the day. And it's a class scheduled for them. And I don't know about you, but I would much rather work with a teenager my own age versus, a paraprofessional in hockey or something. No, they want to be around their peers. And so during the school day, that's the same thing. There's nothing different. We've unified phys ed class. We actually have to cap that class because every kid wanted to take unified phys ed, which I think is an awesome experience for them. And then an after-school club where they're meeting after school, developing friendships and relationships. So I'm very proud of the organization.
So at the high school, we have 3 full-time guidance counselors, and they service all of the students grade 9 through 12. They have their individual caseloads. It's based off of the alphabet, but they work together. They collaborate a lot on the grade level curriculum. They're always presenting together to the students. They also help to lead lots of prep work for the college and career readiness. We're really proud of the work that we do for our college boot camps. At the start of the school year, we have boot camps in the evenings that we hold for our students and their families, because we want to make sure that every family feels supported. We never want to have any family feel like they need to hire someone to help them through the process. So we find ways to support them during the evening, as well as we do a lot of parent meetings during the day, parent breakfast. And then we'll also do some evening sessions as well, financial aid. We bring in someone to help support them as they complete their FAFSA. So a lot of work is coming from our guidance counselors on top of the scheduling and the social and emotional support that's available. We also have a full-time director of guidance. She was just hired recently. We love her. I'm super excited to have her join us, as well as we have a full-time director of student services. And we have 2 amazing school social workers. One of our social workers is new, but the other social worker has been around for a very long time and is a very trusted adult. Sometimes people joke, what would Carrie do? Some people actually have stickers on their laptops because she's just such a great resource. And I know that we're going to have the same in our other social worker that was recently hired last year. So we've got a great support system. In addition to that, we also have a former social worker who was working in the school system, who is now a school-based counselor that sees our students additionally. So we have lots of supports within our building for our students.
Thank you, Laura. This is who we are. This is our student demographics. Straight off the state page to everybody. This is who we are as in terms of our race and ethnicity, as well as our selected populations. And then also the query was, what is the percent of SEI enrolled teachers? So that's included in our demographics. Equity and diversity. So it is a priority of our school district. Be very direct, it's a priority. How much of a priority is it? Our school committee created an equity subcommittee that meets regularly in public meetings. Okay, and so that equity subcommittee, which is attended by all of the administrators in the district, meets to review equity, diversity, and opportunities for all of our kids. To me, that's what it means. So we participated in many professional development training at the administrative level. What excites me the most is bringing these things. A lot of us go to trainings and things, but can you bring it to the student level? That's always the challenge, and we have. I'm going to ask Mrs. Love to talk about Project 2.
I am very fortunate that I get to run our Project 351 and the Celtics Playbook Initiative workshops at our school. Absolutely something that I think is a game changer for building school culture. We initially started with students that were junior high and high school level, but we've expanded, given the student feedback, down to the elementary schools. We bring students in and we train them to be we train them to be influencers. So we have a culture of influencers. We empower our students to be the voices for the student experience. And we always talk about how important it is for every student to walk through our doors and to feel as though they are seen, valued, they matter, that they are absolutely free to be themselves. So we have started Project 351 and the Playbook workshops 3 years ago now, and expanded from a group of roughly 50 students that were involved to 175 students now are involved in this. And we do leadership training, and we talk about how do you help to support an inclusive community. So we look forward to continuing to grow in the next few years. It's definitely a source of pride for our district. Along with that, we always have a component of service with each of the workshops that we do. And it's completely student-led. So I should tell you that we select each year 2 students who go and get trained by the Boston Celtics in Project 351 to best understand a playbook, a social playbook. So it's a series of different social scenarios, and just like in the sports, where you would have a specific scenario that you need to prepare for, and you know your plays, students learn the plays for how to create an inclusive community. So we are absolutely seeing that have a positive impact, and we look forward to the continued growth in those areas. We also have a community service day where all of our students participate in community service, including our students who are in the life skills program and our transition program. So everyone in our building engages in community service. We do it typically the day before Thanksgiving break. And it was an amazing experience. Last year was our first time doing that. We also are very committed to continuing it. Our staff, our students, our families were so excited after our Community Service Day. I'm going to let these guys take a minute and just tell you about what their experience was. But we have students that help to provide us with areas that they want to serve, and then they were able to select from those areas, so it felt really personal and important to them. And we were fortunate enough to work with Mass Hire, who funded our transportation so that we could get as many students off campus with buses and chaperones. So absolutely a great day and something that we're really proud of. Abby, do you want to talk about your experience in the morning with all of that?
I was able to go to Friends of Jack, and pretty much we just give bags and wrap presents. We built the cars that kids can ride in, and we learned all about what they stand for, what they do. There to then go give all the stuff to kids in the hospital. For Community Service Day for me, I stayed with one of the art teachers in the school, and another group of students. We worked to create cards for elderly people who may not have people to give them holiday cards, so that we can be someone that they get to hear from during the holiday season.
And then we also have a Credit for Life fair each year. We work with Cape Cod 5 and Credit for Life, and we want to prepare our students for the real world. And oftentimes you hear, we don't know how to write a check, we don't even know what a credit card is, like, what is this about saving or spending? And so listening to that feedback, 2 years ago, we partnered with Cape Cod 5 and Credit for Life, and we bring them in. In junior year, students will have an opportunity to hear from Jim Kern from Cape Cod 5. He comes in, he pushes into our Bulldog block, he does a presentation to the students. Many of the students are like, I need you to send me that presentation right away. He gives them a budget spreadsheet, gives them sort of the presentation of, well, if you want this car,
or this car, and it breaks down what that spending would be or the savings would be over the years. The kids have said, this is the most important thing that you guys have done for us over the years. So they get that when they are juniors, and then when they're seniors, they actually participate in the fair, where they select a career, and then because of the career that they've selected, they get a specific budget. All of the numbers are real numbers that Cape Cod 5 and Credit for Life has managed to study and update. And so the kids learn, how am I going to make decisions? What kind of car am I going to have? Am I going to have health and wellness memberships at a gym? Can I buy a pet? What should I spend for my food? And they basically go through all of these different stations. They work with experts in the area who are volunteering to teach them, to prepare them for the real world. And then the best part is that we also receive $1,000 from Cape Cod 5 for bringing them in, and we get prizes for our kids, all things that would be related to financial decisions that they'll need to make in the future. So kids are like walking away with dorm room sets or microwaves or gas cards, things like that. So it's a really great experience for our students, and I definitely think that it's helped to support that need for that financial awareness down the road. You heard me mention earlier about our college boot camps, career fairs, we have college fairs in our building as well. Like I said, we really want to make sure that the experience is easy and accessible for all of our families. And then I'm going to let Mr. DeMaul talk about the last two things that are on the slide.
I hate to be left out. My community service group, I brought 40 kids today in food pantry in Wareham, so it's all hands on deck. The State Seal by Literacy program, we had students just this past year for the very first time honored at graduation, having been certified by the state for being passing the State Seal by Literacy in either Portuguese or Spanish. So we were super proud. We do offer 3 foreign languages. The third would be Latin, Portuguese, Spanish. And then finally, at Equity University, we conduct annual curriculum reviews through the lens of bias. What's in our curriculum is it accessible to all? This is who we are. The student to teacher ratio. That's what the state tells me. That's 11.4 to 1. It's not a real number, right? It's not real. Okay, those are like how many teachers you have in the building and how many did you. So the real numbers are there. We're not hiding those numbers. I think those are awesome numbers. As I said, I have my wife's an English teacher at the high school. If I gave her a class under 15, she'd be crushed. I want kids in my class. So these are awesome average class sizes for our students at all levels, whether it's advanced placement, honors, or college prep. So those are the real numbers in my opinion. And then teacher longevity. Geez, how do I figure that out? That's one of the things you want to know. How about this? I didn't hire a new teacher this year. Okay. I can't think of it. Teachers come to make a career at Old Rochester. That's just what happens. They come to make a career at Old Rochester, as I am. Okay? And so we have teachers that stay. And hire teachers. And I think we're fully staffed. A lot of schools can say that right now. We're fully staffed. First day of schools tomorrow. We're ready to go. Okay? I'm excited for that. Again, more of the information we're looking for, 81% from our local survey. Those are our graduation rates. Some kids need that 5th year. We support that. It's not a race to the finish line. And then our accountability measures we put up against anyone's in the region. We feel like we're doing our job to prepare our students for post-high school life. School performance in regards to facilities. Okay, this is just a log on our facilities. At graduation every year, so 18 have given 18 speeches. The first year as an assistant principal, they made me give the speech. I say, welcome to the hub of the South Coast, because we house we have an auditorium that's constantly being used by the community. Dance troops are renting out our spaces because we want people on our campus, our athletic fields. We have our football stadium is a place that comes alive for our own events, but also for events within our community. So, in our gym for basketball games, our facilities are, we want people on our facilities, we want people in our buildings. We're proud. If you want to take a look and take a tour, we'd be happy to do that. October 1st of this year, we're hopeful that we're putting a shovel on the ground for athletic field renovation project. We're going to irrigate more of our facility, and that's going to just enhance our student experience, which is important. Safety and security, heard it tonight. We've heard it. So we have we have a full-time school resource officer that is on campus every single day. We're fortunate enough to say that we have two. So we have two. They're not always there together, but we have two familiar faces on the Mattapoisett Police Force that are in our buildings every single day. Okay? We do participate in ALICE active shooter trainings in conjunction with our local police office. Just this summer, every administrator and 3 representatives from each of the police stations in 3 towns went through full ALICE trainings, okay, to prepare our students in the event of an active shooting. We have done a lot of work in the last 10 years, pre-post-COVID, around securing our vestibules and using a Raptor school check-in so people can, when they come in, we're scanning IDs, we're making sure we have safe visitors coming to campus, and then our door access technology systems. We have comprehensive alarms and cameras, and I consider us to be an extremely safe school. Community engagement, we have an alumni association that's active. So here's one of the things I tell parents. I always feel like at the elementary levels, doesn't everybody love their elementaries, right? You know, you wrap your arms around the community school. And then something happens when it's like, okay, now we're at like the junior high age. And the kids probably don't want mom and dad around as much. I don't want you at my field days. It doesn't feel as good. We want to flip that at our school. We embrace parents. We want them to be involved. We want to welcome them into our school. And so we encourage them to join. Is your kid in drama? It's our most popular club. 1 in 7 students is in our drama club. So join the Friends of Old Rochester Drama, the Friends of Old Rochester Music. Mrs. Millette has done an incredible job connecting us with Mass Hire to provide local business opportunities for our students and job readiness. We've got a very active athletic booster club that supports what our student athletes are doing. We run a school council. We have our CPAC for our special education population and parents and active community members. And I'm on the board for the Tri-Town Educational Foundation Fund, Nelson, that awards grants on an annual basis to continue to support what our students are doing. This is a fun slide, right? So this is the fiscal responsibility. So the expenditures per pupil, okay? So you can see our total in-district expenditures. It's broken down by different ways that we're spending it. All of that information is available online through the Department of Ed. We do have student fees. Our students pay $50 a mark, okay? And then our students do pay for athletics. But I can tell you in my career, we have never kept a kid from playing a sport because of a user fee. Okay? And so we, in many cases, will waive the user fee depending upon the student's situation. And those conversations are not done between coach and player. They're done between principal involved, parents, in a very warm and understanding way.
I want to just add that the SAFE is for our APs. Any student that wants to take an AP, they're not held back from doing that because of the cost of APs. As well as PSATs.
So some historical data, this is requested through the presentation, so this is some of our historical data on cost per pupil expenditures. We are historically spending beyond the minimum requirements. We commit to that, we will always do that. Slides. And then net school spending is evidence of that being met. So there we are with our amount over our net school spending highlighted for you, and then our foundational budget included as well.
So my own child would call this slide cringy. So I think that cringy might mean like, you, Dad. So like, in advance of this presentation, I reached out to Amber Hankel, who was in 2024 Old Rochester graduate, who I knew, and it doesn't matter, but I did know she went through the Acushnet schools, okay? And I said, Amber, when are you going back to school? She's a rising sophomore at UConn. And she said, Sunday. I'm like, and it's like Sunday a couple days ago. So I said, is there any way you could just share on your thoughts about, I'm going to this presentation, here's what I'm going to be doing, what can you do, what do you think, you know? And this is what she came up with, and it's like, this is Amber, this is the Old Rochester experience. She wanted to be very careful to, you gotta include this in development. I got the Acushnet Teachers Association Scholarship, they love me there, she said. And so this is just straight from Amber. And again, this is what her participation in Old Rochester felt like. We're trying to talk about like sense of belonging. What is it like to be a new student? So Amber walked in and as a 9th grader, had a freshman meeting with me over the summer with her parents, and this is what she was able to do. So she owes it all to me. Get out of here. I owe it all to her. She was an awesome student, all right, a student leader that was a driving force of her senior class. So that is kind of cringy. So this is our last slide. I would imagine that there will be questions. We're happy to answer those. Superintendent Nelson, anything you want to add?
Principal Paul, I will take you up on your 30-minute freshman orientation when my son gets there in a year or two, and I'm looking forward to it. I want to thank the Acushnet School Committee. The letter that you provided to us was crystal clear in what you were looking for. We did our very best to address each and every single point. I probably owe my assistant and the central office some kind of reward. They spent a lot of time preparing the binders of all supplemental information that I believe will support the information you saw here on the PowerPoint in a lot more depth, including evidence from the Department of Education, samples of our communication from the superintendent's office, the principal's office, our strategic plan that informs our school improvement plans and our educator goals, etc. So I appreciate that opportunity to share it. And some of the other superintendents and members mentioned that this isn't a competition, and we feel that way. We spent a lot of time deciding whether or not this is something that we wanted to consider for our community, because we examined your core values as principal development. We compared them to ours, and we did recognize that we believe that you're looking for a partnership, but that's also what we're looking for. This feels somewhat funny because we're sharing so much information about ourselves. We have some idea in terms of what you're looking for, but if we're fortunate enough to be able to move forward in this process, we would want to sit down with all of you and learn a lot more about what that partnership should look like in terms of experience that you've had and what you're looking for moving forward. So I also want to thank my team. I know that it's opening day of school tomorrow. They put a lot of time into being here. I know some others are in the same situation. I wish you the best of luck tomorrow as you're opening up schools. And most importantly, I want to thank these two young ladies for coming back to their home community to share some of the awesome things that are happening here over Rochester. Thank you very much, everybody.
Terry Fleming, who is our Director of Curriculum and Assessment with us this evening. And I have Kelly Steele, who is our Director of Student Services, who's with us here this evening. And I'd also like to acknowledge in the audience, we had a few of our staff members who were here before, but I think the opening of the school tomorrow might have chased them away. And I'm going to just simply say that I've heard the phrase crown jewel quite a bit tonight, so I would feel remiss if I didn't acknowledge the words crown jewel. But I think we at Acushnet are really the crown jewel itself. We are a gem, and I often refer to the school as a gem out in the woods. And by the way, the woods aren't very far away. It took me 11 minutes to get from Acushnet Regional High School to this building this evening. So we're awfully close to your students. Just wanted to make that point to you this evening in case you hadn't checked it out. And I'd just also like to preface the presentation tonight with the fact that we are offering something new to Acushnet, in that we don't have an agreement with anyone beyond Freetown or Lakeville in our two communities, and we'd be very interested in coming to the table to make a very fresh agreement starting from scratch to meet the needs of the Acushnet students while we still recognize the needs of our Freetown Lakeville students. So without much else to say, I'm going to turn things over to our most excellent Aponequid Regional High School principal, who is an alumni, or is an alumni of the school, Caitlin Dessert.
Good evening, and thank you for inviting us here tonight. I'm Caitlin Dessert, the very proud principal of Aponequid Regional High School, and on behalf of our entire school community, I'm honored to present what it truly means to be a part of the Laker Nation. At Aponequid, we believe in a commitment to excellence for all of our students, and tonight I hope that you'll see how that commitment lives in our classrooms, on our playing fields, in the hearts of our students and staff. We will present a great deal of information and encourage you to ask questions at the end and take time to review the presentation at your convenience. We currently have 28 school choice students in Laker Nation, and one of those is from Acushnet, and she'll be talking with you later in this presentation. And we believe that you will see tonight how our students, how all our students find a home in Laker Nation, and we believe we can be that home for Acushnet students. Aponequid is nestled in Lakeville, just about 15 minutes from Acushnet, as Dr. Starkey said, and we serve around 640 students in grades 9 through 12. You can see that this is at a glance, but it's much more than a glance. But we'll try to cover some of these things, give some shout outs to them. So we pride ourselves on small class sizes, low student-teacher ratio, a personalized approach to learning. And our students come from Freetown, Lakeville, Acushnet, and hopefully soon Acushnet. We are very proud to be a DESE School of Recognition in both 2017 and 2024. We earned an 83% accountability score in 2024, and we'll explain a bit more about that. It's the highest in our conference. Our most recent class celebrated a 100% graduation rate and a 95% attendance rate. And most recently, just this week, we were ranked number 81 in Massachusetts by U.S. News and World Report. That is the highest in the entire South Coast. We're very proud of that. And to our students and our towns. We truly believe that our achievements and rankings are indicative of the exceptional experience students get as part of Laker Nation. Now, one thing that you will see throughout our presentation is that we are guided by four powerful core values: achievement, resilience, honor, and self-advocacy. In fact, you're going to see that our students do achieve, they persevere, they show honor and kindness, and they speak up for themselves. Student voice is very important. These are not just buzzwords. They are within everything we do. We celebrate them in our halls and in our social media, and they're part of our daily discourse. From academics to athletics, from clubs to career readiness, we are building graduates who are prepared for their next steps wherever they may lead, being successful, kind, resilient, using their voice for change. Now I'd like to introduce one of our assistant principals, Mr. Gallant.
I'm Jeff Glenn, one of the assistant principals at Aponequid Regional High School. Separating us from other schools in the South Coast, the South Coast Conference, we fully align with Mass Core in our offerings and in our graduation requirements. And we also offer many other pathways that we'll discuss in a moment. Mass Core requirements are met and exceeded at Aponequid as students pass 4 years of English language arts, 4 years of mathematics, 3 lab sciences, 3 history courses, 2 world language courses, 2 semesters of fine art, 4 semesters of a wellness, and a year-long comprehensive civics project, which has earned us recognition from the state. We have a tremendous amount of offerings at Aponequid. We offer a wide range of advanced placement courses, over 14 in-person courses, and many more through virtual high school, an accredited online platform. Students choose from these classes that you see, and many more to pursue for their interests in possibly genetics, forensic science and psychology, zoology, fashion design, and many more. In 2024, 213 students took 457 AP exams. 92% of those students scored a 3 or higher. This translates directly college savings and confidence. It also results in a contingency of our population that receives the Seal by Literacy, which is awarded to students who scored a 4 or higher on AP Spanish. We plan to add AP Portuguese to this biliteracy track. Our students perform exceptionally well in the MCAS exam, with 96% of our students passing. Additionally, a Department of Education accountability rating is determined by multiple factors, including achievement based on MCAS results, advanced course completion, student growth in ELA and mathematics, English language proficiency, and school quality, including measures like high attendance. We experienced a marked increase in our score for these reasons and for increasing our performance for our high-need students. Now I'd like to introduce Mr. Pillar, our new assistant principal at Acushnet.
So to ensure that our students are prepared in life beyond high school, we offer many unique learning opportunities. This includes our own formalized Laker pathways in subjects such as business, computer science, and engineering. It offers a progressive programming approach to prepare students for future studies or also workforce participation. Additionally, this year we're introducing our first innovative career pathway in healthcare, as well as adopting several future ICT pathways, one being business. We offer several opportunities for students to connect and engage with the community. We host multiple events such as career, technical, and military days, as well as facilitate community service and work-based learning opportunities. We partner with local organizations such as Lakeville Police and Fire and Local Media Access to provide internship and job shadowing opportunities. Additionally, we host Physics Olympics and annually participate and send students to the Women in STEM Summit at Regis College. So in this rapidly changing world, as we all know, for us, education goes far beyond the classroom, and we seek to continually provide students with experiences that are both comprehensive and enriching. So while nearly 78% of our students pursue college, we certainly want to ensure that every single one of them are prepared for wherever they go after leaving the concord. Thank you. Now I'll introduce May. Talk about course offerings.
Hi, I'm Maya. I'm a rising junior at Acushnet next year. Our humanity program offers many electives beyond our mass core requirements, from the popular ARHS Sports Center and trending digital media to leadership in horror fiction. Our elective offerings are rigorous, relevant, and often the result of a student voice. Our science program provides multiple AP offerings beginning in grade 10, a computer science pathway, and an expanding engineering and robotics program. Our math department provides mass core requirements, AP calculus, as well as relevant education in personal finance and even sports analysis. Our business program introduces students to many aspects of the study of business management and marketing, very popular in Laker Nation, as nearly 1/3 of our student body enhances this with participation in DECA competition. DECA is a National Business Achievement Club. Our Wellness Development Department meets mass core with 4 semesters of physical education and health education, which includes certification in first aid and CPR for all our ARHS students. Students can further enhance this path with education in sports medicine and the art of healthy living, including cooking and nutrition, a very popular class in Laker Nation. Our art program is well-rounded, to say the least. Students have many pathways to explore painting, ceramics, sculpture, and more. We celebrate this art through building murals, art shows within the school and in the community. And our students compete and win awards such as Gold and Silver Key Awards from the Boston Globe. Our art exploration continues through our music program through concert band, jazz band, choir, and select choirs. Our electives evolve over time to meet the needs of our students, and you can see some of our newer offerings such as Build a Band and TV, film, and video games. Also, our courses really connect with what our students are doing. Like when I was a freshman, I came in and I did public speaking, and I was very scared, but now I'm up here today, and I feel a lot better about it.
Good evening. My name is Nicole Fairweather, and I'm school counselor at Acushnet as well as the counseling department head for the high school. Another important component of success in Laker Nation is our staff. We're 100% certified professionals bringing a passion and love of learning to our school each day. A wonderful tradition which exemplifies this connection is that each graduate gets to choose a school district member or town official that has impacted their educational journey to hand in their diploma on graduation day.
Oh, wow.
For example, as you can see in this photo, students have selected bus drivers, favorite teachers, and even local police officers to share in this honor. With 4 full-time guidance counselors, mental health staff, and ongoing student support meetings, our students are never navigating their path alone. This award-winning counseling team brings a comprehensive program to life through interactive, engaging curriculum, meeting students' academic, career, and socio-emotional needs through group and individual work. Multiple times each year, students meet with their counselor to develop and enhance a personalized 4-year plan. Some of our most popular events are the Air Showcase for incoming 9th graders, our building-wide career day, and the ACAC College Fair and BSU Tour Day for juniors. At Acushnet, our inclusive approach to student services includes a high level of communication with parents and guardians through phone calls, meetings, both in person and virtual, information sessions such as financial aid, college planning, and scholarship info seminars. We believe collaboration with families is a key component to student success, happiness, and health. With 2 full-time adjustment counselors, a school psychologist, and partnerships with local agencies to ensure wraparound care, we take mental health seriously. Roundtable discussions, monthly newsletters, and our break room lunch talks are just a few examples of how our adjustment counselors work closely with student collectives to bring awareness to and reduce the stigma associated with mental health. By providing targeted support in small groups and one-on-one settings, students strengthen coping skills, self-awareness, and resilience as they navigate challenges and achieve personal growth. Our school culture is rooted in empathy, equity, and connection. At Acushnet, we strongly believe in personalized learning. We support these experiences through a variety of flexible and student-centered programming. We take a tiered approach to education and support with our academic and test and tutoring labs, ensuring academic assistance is available to all students who need additional help with day-to-day coursework, assessment preparation, and organizational skill building. For those who find the traditional academic environment challenging, we bolster alternative opportunities to obtain a high school diploma through our credit recovery and online programming. Recognizing others are looking to further enrich their academic experience, we encourage exploration of courses outside of our in-class opportunities, offering upperclassmen courses through VHS and dual enrollment. We know that no 2 students are the same, and we celebrate our diversity and promote inclusion in Laker Nation. Our high school supports inclusion students by providing individualized services, classroom accommodations, and collaborative teaching to ensure every student can learn and thrive alongside their peers. Electives join our special education life skills and transition program students together with their peers through integrated art, integrated maintenance and repair, integrated music, and integrated movement and fitness. Our adult transition program fully integrates within the community through job site experience, college attendance, and our new Life Suite apartment and kitchen for daily living experiences. All of these programs come together for Laker Nation's most favorite sporting events, the Unified Basketball and Track teams, winning the Sportsmanship Award and Unified Champion School banner in recent years. And now I'd like to introduce some students.
Good evening. My name is Eliza Wagner. I am starting my sophomore year at Acushnet Regional High School this year. I am an Acushnet resident and I have lived here for many years. I have been fortunate enough to be able to start my fundamentals in sports with the Acushnet system, including playing travel basketball and representing our town at a very young age. Deciding which high school to attend, sports played a huge role. I knew that if I was going to be accepted under the school choice program, it would really give me a great high school experience. Last year in the fall, I was able to play JV soccer, and I made the varsity basketball team as a freshman. I'm very proud to put on my ARHS uniforms. We are proud members of the South Coast Conference. We are excited to have 57 of our students participate in athletics. Of that number, 65% of our school choice students are woven into the fabric of Laker Nation by participating in at least one sport. Our athletic program is supported through our Athletic Boosters Club. Like many nearby districts, we do require a user fee for participation in athletics, but we also provide student assistance with fees and do not require any mandatory fundraising. Our wide range of varsity and sub-varsity athletic programs are not just about competition. They're about building character, leadership, and community. Let's celebrate the spirit of honor and excellence that defines our Lakers. Our athletic programs have earned significant success at both the individual and team level, and we are very proud of what we have accomplished. For example, the varsity girls basketball team became the South Coast Conference champions 3 years in a row, as well as making it to the Sweet 16 in our 2024 to 2025 season. Over the years, we have many student athletes going on to compete at the collegiate level. We celebrate those students through 2 official signing days at our school. Here are some of our past graduates competing at the collegiate level.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for your patience and time for letting us present today. My name is Ryan O'Connor, and I am this year's senior class president. At Acushnet, we have had, our Lakers are very active, engaged, and passionate. So we offer over 30 clubs and organizations. This includes some of our heavy hitters like drama, DECA, robotics, environmental club, and student council. However, this number is still growing as Acushnet provides the amazing opportunity for students to add clubs that they're interested in if we do not already have them. One of my favorite recent additions was that this spring a group of my classmates worked really hard to add the unique organization of HOSA to our school. HOSA, or Health Occupation Students of America, is an international student organization that promotes career opportunities in the healthcare industry. All of our clubs, whether competing or not, are all very successful. They provide the opportunity for our students to be engaged and involved while pursuing their own interests. Notably, our DECA program earned gold certification for school store and heat press business, and had 11 students qualify for the international business competition. In music and drama, our students are winning awards and, more importantly, finding their voices. Last year, we had 2 students accepted into MMEA All-State, along with an excellent rating for band, choir, jazz band, and select choir for solo awards at Music in the Parks Festival competition. If you haven't seen one of our Laker drama productions yet, then you are definitely missing out. We have a stellar drama program in which I still have not gotten over the Mamma Mia play that they performed from the spring of 2024. Our art program also has received gold and silver keys from the Boston Globe.
Hi, my name is Reagan, and I've been part of the student council at our school and all my years in high school. I started my freshman year as class president, and then sophomore year, I decided to join the executive board as secretary, and this year I'm going into my junior year as executive board president.
Hi everybody, I'm Hadley, and I've also been a long-term participant of student council. My freshman year, I was an active council member. My sophomore year, I was a class representative for my class. In my junior year this year, I am now also joining the executive board as publicity coordinator. And actually, fun fact, me and Reagan both have won the MVM award, which is most valuable member of student council. Reagan winning it her freshman year, me winning it my sophomore year, so it truly shows that your work pays off. Our student council hosts a number of unique and fun events that we are proud to organize and host each year. Examples of these are our amazing spirit weeks and pep rallies with distinct and unique themes each day that display our Laker pride.
Following our spirit weeks and pep rallies are our events such as Dog Nights Week, which promotes kindness and community, where we pick a cause to fundraise, whether the local or national scale, and our homecoming, which is a formal social event to bring the school together.
In our years in student council, our group has proposed and created 3 different events that are catered to the foundation of our school, such as the Senior Lock-In. This event is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and bonding event for the graduates to hang out with the senior community for one last time. In addition, we also host a Holiday Bonanza, which promotes diversity and connection between all the religions and traditions are implemented and displayed. Lastly, our new annual Spring Fair with different themes and activities each year, which acts as a final hurrah to the people of Laker Nation who have worked hard all year and strive to their best throughout their education.
We have also hosted 2 successful card shows this year with our club's branch, Pokemon Club, where the community can join our club for a day of training, competing, and more,
With the help of local businesses, which is the thing we strive our club on, is working with the community. And our biggest and most attended informal event is PonCon. It is our annual school game night where everyone's interests are showcased and celebrated. This is unique to our school and unlike any other high school event.
At Acushnet, we pride ourselves on inclusivity school-wide. Regardless of age, class, or title, you can participate in student council events with low commitment and without even being elected.
Other school-wide activities include our film festival to provide an outlet for creativity and the junior classes civic action projects to better our community.
The events at Acushnet are endless and are always a good time for everyone. In our community, the activities we put on not only bring the community together, but also foster an environment for students to work together to create great things for our school.
Thank you very much. How do we keep up the energy so late at night? We have a public speaking paid off for all of you. So I hope to the Acushnet School Committee in your community that we would be honored to welcome your students into Laker Nation. And I hope you can see a piece of Laker Nation. We're ready to support them, challenge them, and celebrate them. We know that the transition to high school can be a very stressful one, not just for students, but for families. And we will walk with you every step of the way. At Laker Nation, your students will be known, they will be supported, they will be empowered. They will achieve, be resilient, be honorable, and they'll self-advocate for themselves and for the world around them. Thank you for considering us, and we are happy to take any questions you may have.
Thank you.
Though maybe before you have a question, there's one piece I don't think that we included. You asked New Bedford, and we were really proud this year because the students really do achieve, and we make partnerships, and we encourage them, to do that themselves. And this year, under the guidance of Nicole Fairweather, our students received $339,000 worth of scholarships for 151 students.
Did they go over?
We certainly understand that it's late.
I don't hear anything.
And our presentation was very clearly not exhaustive. We have much more information that we would love to share with you. And again, happy to answer any questions this evening. But out of deference to your time and the time of everybody else here, you could certainly follow up with us, in any way possible.
Sure.
Well, it's getting late, but you guys are awesome. We really appreciate it.
So good. Yeah, definitely.
So thank you.
Just a couple quick questions. What's the average class size, student teacher ratio?
The average class size is 11.
11. Okay.
14 to 6.
Yeah. Okay. And then, do you have any established early college pathways, dual enrollment programs, that sort of thing?
We do. We partner with local colleges for dual enrollment. We have also started our first year of innovative career pathways, in which students, we've made a relationship with Bristol Community College so far for phlebotomy classes, for instance, and certifications. And this year, as part of our 3-year school improvement plan, we are seeking out all of those partnerships they have. Our students are very interested in the medical field, so that's where we went first. The designation in the healthcare pathway.
And do you know how old the building is and when the last major renovation projects were?
1959, our freshmen who will graduate in 2029. We just had our orientation last night, and I have to tell you, there were 108 Laker leaders. That means 108 out of just 3 classes. So about a third of our students, 1 out of 4 students participated in that to welcome all those freshmen. It was so wonderful. So I did say to the parents that they are the class of 2029 and they're the 70th graduating class. So it was built in 1959, and we have had a renovation in 1999. And
The most recent renovation of scale was in 1999. We did a more than $15 million renovation during the school year while we were in the building. Some of us still have hard hat marks to show for that. But we've not done a large-scale project on the building since. However, we are looking toward putting together what could be a 5 to 10 year capital plan very soon. And we are very much interested in doing some significant upgrades to our high school.
Any particular upgrades stand out?
Certainly in the science department, right? We're putting in a health career pathway. We've started a health career pathway, right? So we'd like to have some lab space commensurate with that. And that is top of the list. We're also looking to do some facility upgrades long-term. Not all of those have been shared publicly yet, so I'd like to refrain from talking about campus upgrades, but there are plans in the works, and surely in a meeting coming up in the future, once we've shared that information with our own towns and our own school committee, we'd be happy to share it with you.
Of course, thank you.
I have one question. Because this would be, if it does follow through, we end up having this collaboration, what type of initiatives would you put in place to have a sense of belonging for the Acushnet students there?
A sense of belonging for them?
Yes.
Well, I have to say, we just had our salutatorian was from Acushnet, and I didn't know that until she was in the top 10. You know, we just don't know that. That is for real. Laker Nation is a place for everyone. You know, one of the things that we'll need to do, we do go to our 8th grade many times and come up to our buildings. So we already know them before the summer, you know, and we have an orientation and we take all those extra phone calls to tell the parents, no, we won't be pushed in a locker. It's not a 90s movie. You know, we do that kind of thing, whatever it is that they need. And we already give them special programming. For instance, it was mentioned very quickly, but not only do we have academic support, but we have something we call T&T, testing and tutoring. So for students who are not on an IEP but have been identified as struggling, are already enrolled in that with a certified teacher, despite the fact that they don't have an IEP. So we're really proud of that. But in terms of this, we would have to find some ways to visit a lot more and to have you visit our school. We've had some really great orientations. We had a really great showcase, we called it, where they came up and again, it's student-led, but they got to see every club, every sport. The students were there playing, you know, like throwing the ball around, and they just got to see what a place it is, and I have no doubt that they would find their place in Laker Nation. Just in the past 4 years as principal, many of those clubs have been added, and many of those electives have been added, and I'm thankful to the community for allowing that, and I'm thankful to the students who advocate for those. Pokemon, who knew?
And what do you currently offer in terms of late bus service for your existing district?
We currently don't offer a late bus for our students, but we would be looking in our agreement with Acushnet to add some type of service and also to expand that to students in our own district. It's a need. It's a need that we have.
All right, well, thanks again. We appreciate it. Have a great year.
Thank you very much.
Nice job, guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you guys. All right, so we'll wrap up. So there was some communication and information provided. Any questions or any comments relative to any of the communications? No?
No.
That being said, our next school committee meeting is Tuesday, September 9th at 6 p.m. in the FMS library. Can I have a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting?
So moved.
Second.
And we'll do a roll call.
Mr. Hood?
Yes.
Mrs. Cordero?
Yes.
Mr. Ellis?
Yes.
Mr. Howcroft?
Yes.
Mrs. Goodwin?
Yes.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.